Waiting. Now we are live.
Okay, what up, crewmates? Welcome to another episode, live stream of the Command Deck podcast. I'm Galaxy Wolf. With me is my co-captain and
What is up?
co-conspirator in all things movie and
What
nerd
is
stuff.
what is up, all you losers? If you will all be promoted down to the poop deck after this because you are not as excited as all the information that just came out in the last couple of days. It is a wild week for the gaming industry with what was announced for State of Play, Games Fest, and Xbox Showcase,
And
which just
Xbox.
wrapped up about a little over an hour ago. And
Dude,
there's
it's
current
it's
and there's PC Game Fest going on at the moment and all this other stuff, but most of those are just recaps with very minor things. So we'll we really won't touch on those, but we will talk about Game Fest, State of Play, and the Xbox Showcase.
well also if we have time because I got some real life stuff to deal with, but if we got time, we'll possibly talk about Lilo and Stitch. I know it's kind of been out for a bit, but that's stuff I really do feel like I want to talk about. I don't know about you,
Lilo and Stitch has
but for the
officially
most
been
part,
out
let's
for almost 3 weeks now, 2 weeks.
yeah, it's been out for a bit, but for the most part, let's stick with the big ticket items, right?
All right,
First off,
Sony
that what
State
came
of
out
Play.
was
Let's start with let's dive them into their separates, and then we're gonna talk about them overall. First one is
overall.
Sony State of Play. Man, did Sony drop the ball again for
I
about the second year in a row? They really only announced some of the stuff that they had already talked about last year. So there was there was a lot newer things, mostly in-game dev footages from the PS5. Um, but
Now
most of
to
their
be fair,
stuff.
there were a couple good things.
I'm not saying
I'm
like
trying.
it's all bad, but what I mean is like
Yeah,
they didn't hit that mark like they used to. Like
no,
they had a quality they would hit. They did not hit
yeah.
it this time. Whoever their cook was in the past, they brought him out to the back and shot him. They executed him, and they hired Gordon Ramsay to serve up this trash.
I
But
My biggest problem with everything, we still do not have any information on. We got no information on the Captain America Black Panther game, the World War II. We got nothing for that.
which I
We
don't
got
think we were
nothing
ever gonna
about.
get anything for that because its announcement was last year, and it was too early for any new information to come out. Same thing with
Well,
the
we got
Wolverine
nothing
game.
for the Wolverine game. There's been rumors floating around about an Insomniac Venom game, but we got no confirmation. We got nothing for that, so no confirmation. No being
No,
like,
no
yeah, dude, we're doing a
confirmations on Blade either. Nothing there.
on. Yeah, honestly, I don't know.
Game's
First off, again, with
supposedly
this,
still in the works, but there has been nothing from the studio online or anything.
um, also, dude, I am pissed at because I found out some more information about the Black Panther game. So you remember the Nemesis system, right?
Yeah, the one that's in the Batman games that is locked behind a wall.
No, not the Batman games. It's the one that was part of the Mordor game, the
Oh
Shadow
yeah,
of
yeah, the
Mordor.
Mordor one. That wrong game. The Mordor system that's
Well,
locked behind a wall by Warner Brothers.
yeah. Well, apparently the people who created it were the same. The people who did it were going to create a pretty much redo the Nemesis system and create a better version of it for this Black Panther game, right? So anytime, and which was cool. Apparently, you were supposed to be able to pick like T'Challa, Killmonger, and essentially pick a Black Panther
There was
and
four.
Shuri.
From what I saw, there was four of them. Each one would have their own story. You'd have T'Challa, Killmonger, Shuri, and then his white son, which I don't understand how that makes sense, but I'm not reading the comics.
But a big thing about this and like why this new adapted Nemesis system was that like your choices was gonna matter and it was gonna like follow you throughout the game. And apparently a big thing about the game was that it was supposed to involve a scroll invasion, essentially coming into Wakanda. And a big thing was that like your choices towards the scrolls was supposed to like how like apparently later in the game scrolls were supposed to infect your inner circle and everything. So the fact that not only I'm convinced that like people are that the gaming industry is handicapping itself because this is now the second time that we could have had a Nemesis system thing, and yet the studio that did it has been shut down.
This is the second studio to get shut down in a major case like this with games that were announced that generally had all the hype, but at the same time they
And
also said that they don't think that there was the right amount of hype for the Black Panther game.
that's
Now shutting down and dissolving the studio made no sense. Granted,
that,
they had kind
especially
of
when
spent
again,
all the money
w-
working on that Black Panther game with that Nemesis system that Warner Brothers locked behind a wall until like 2046, which is so dumb of them because that
yeah,
is a literal cash cow that anyone would be willing to pay just to use the licensing for, just to have access to it. They could be
it's
making money right now
it's
and they don't
such a
want it.
dope
It
idea,
was also
especially
supposed
now
to
that we
be
have AI.
the
Now that
Nemesis
AI
system
is
was
so
supposed to be
big,
in the Wonder Woman game too.
yeah, that's like that. This is the second time that a game has been canceled and the studio has been shut down, and the game that was canceled involved the Nemesis system or a variant of it. Like especially like, dude, we're now in an age, right, where these interactive or like your choices matter kind of games are so much easier to make because of AI. AI kind of like now. I'm not saying that like AI in video games is a slippery slope, right? We can both agree to that. But
Absolutely.
the fact that like we have the technology to do this, right? And yet it feels like they're crippling themselves. But um
Um,
uh
so
I'm trying to think about what was
back
big
to what was
for.
announced for the state of play. There are three games that have my attention.
Oh
That I'm really
yeah,
looking
first
forward
off,
to. One is the 007 First Light game. I love James
I
Bond.
saw that, man. I
It
was like,
looks
that looks good.
it looks good. I almost mistook it for a Hitman series. Um,
I'm sorry.
Hey Cadet, we are currently live for the podcast.
yeah.
Oh, hello. Uh, by the way,
This is the engineer of the crew.
Um, no, so the 007 game's got me really excited for it. Silent Hill F is supposed to be its own spin.
That I saw.
I'm
I have
excited, dude. I
a friend
love
who's
Silent Hill. I'm so excited. For that. Um, they had another game that had my attention. Oh, Romeo is a Dead Man. Oh my gosh, that looks so good for a game.
okay.
I'm
Wait,
excited.
Alphys, I got a question for you. Why the hell is soccer being used to power the ship? Do you
Huh?
mind explaining that?
What?
because it's goblin powered.
Oh my god. We have a generator. Why? You know what? None of my business. I don't care. Just I'm gonna go take a smoke break. Y'all have fun. Bye.
Um, NetherRealm Studios, shame on them for releasing the Mortal Kombat collection. Shame on them for that. That's really dumb.
What do you mean shame on them?
Brother, they literally could have been working on more content for Mortal Kombat 1, which they had promised everybody, and then just started like
Okay,
deleting and
that's.
removing
I'm
everything.
convinced. I'm convinced that wasn't NetherRealm.
Oh no,
That's
that's
WB.
no, that's NetherRealm. That is 100% their call. Warner Brothers is a publisher, and NetherRealm said that they wanted to focus on other things, and that they were looking to finish adding on stuff. And then they never finished what they were adding on, and then they said, "Yeah, we're gonna go in a different direction now. We're gonna go work on our next
Well,
project," and that is their fault
to
for
be,
that.
look, as much as look, I am an avid Mortal Kombat 1 defender. I love the game. I love the story. Right? The cameo system sucked, but it was very much. I look. Like I said, I still very much enjoy it. It's the first Mortal Kombat game that I started like trying online combat. Um, but my whole, but I will say, people, the general public did not very much enjoy it. Personally, I think it's against the combat system as well as the fact that
It's
like
I
they
honestly
sprayed
sit there and
a.
say it's the weakest one out of the entire Mortal Kombat series. It's generally weak in most of the area.
That's not.
People wanted a bigger roster with all the fan favorite characters, and you got your fan favorite characters and a cameo system. That is not what
Okay,
anybody
yes,
asked.
again, that's why I said the cameo system. It was the cameo system and the fact that it took that they announced so many characters
And
and
took
it
too
took
long to
them so
drop them.
long to release them.
The
I think is
ghosts
what kind of.
The Ghost of Yote. Perfect.
Now that
I am excited. Like it, like that almost makes me want to get a PlayStation 5. But then I realized that once I beat that, there'd be no point in going back to playing it again. So I'm a little on the edge on that, but I'm excited. I love Ghost of Tsushima. It's a great game.
now there is a game that I saw that I for a state of play, and I remember this that I'm super excited for. The Marvel Tolkien or Toykin.
Tonkon. You're adding an L to it. It's Tonkon.
Dude, that looked first off, right? They like animified everyone. The fact that you have Iron Man looking like a freaking Gundam
Shame on them.
or like Common Rider.
So this
sick.
is it's made by the same people that made Guilty Gear, which
Dude,
if anyone's to make a
It's the
game like
Arc-
that,
it's the Arc system.
no,
people.
if
It's
anyone's to make a game like that, that's them. Like that's 100% in the realm. My biggest problem is when the developers came out and said, "Oh yeah, it's a 4v4 fighting game, but you don't have to learn any other characters. If you want to play one character, you can. You can use everyone else as a support." My brother in Christ, when there is a tag out system, you pick the characters you know how to play. You do not tell people just play one character, use everybody else as a support. You don't need to know how they
Yeah.
play because if your main dies, you're now stuck with characters you don't know how to play. That is the wrong
Mhm.
information to tell in a tag team game. And I was like, why would you say that? Like, that's not what you want to say. You want to say, we're adding more characters and we're going to build up this roster. I love the Ghost Rider is Reyes. It's pretty cool. Him
Yeah.
and his car. But like it looks good. I don't think it's good. It's a game for me. I'm not really a fan of fighting games. Granted, there is one that grabbed my attention, but we'll talk about that later. There's Silent Hill F is gonna be its own thing in the Silent Hill franchise. It's in Japan. It's not in North America or wherever the story takes place. I honestly mistook the trailer for a Grudge or The Ring because of the character's name of Sadako or Sadako. That made me go, "Oh, The Ring! Like this is pretty cool looking." But no, I was wrong. I'm excited. Then we're getting another Final Fantasy game. Typical. That game just
Yeah,
needs to
that's
die.
kind of standard.
Nihon 3 looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I got the list in front of me. Astrobot's
Yeah, I
getting
did
some
too.
more stuff, so it'll now have 90 worlds.
Yeah,
Um,
I saw
sh-
that, and those look pretty cool.
Shout out to PlayStation for finally making a decent looking accessibility controller for once in their life. It's about time
Yeah.
they did something for
That-
people with disabilities.
And hey, it also works on PC. It says.
Yeah.
So I wonder how good that connection is.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not a accessibility controller. It's a fight pad. No, why? Are you really jealous of all the other third-party ones that are out there? And I guarantee these third-party ones are way better than this one. It's a wireless
I'll be
fight
honest, when
stick.
I saw that. I was kind of shocked.
Come on,
And
Sony.
it came out of left field.
It really did.
I feel like.
Also, apparently, the PlayStation VR 2 isn't doing too hot for some reason. And so they're really pushing down on selling them. I don't think they're going to sell the target number they want to because typical Sony pushing out a VR thing and then hardly ever releasing VR style games and just going, oh, you could play this game, but in the VR headset, and that's it. It's not actual VR. So another thing that's going to get abandoned by them in like 6 months, just like the first one. I don't see it becoming a thing. Bloodstain we've got announced, which is pretty cool for a 2D side scroller. Sea of Remnant we're getting as something new, turn-based strategy, so I'm looking forward to that. That we're getting another Digimon game, which I'm really excited for. So there's that.
To all my Nintendo fans, I really respect y'all. Before I say anything, I really.
Oh, wait.
respect
We
Nintendo
haven't
fans.
gotten the summer. We haven't gotten the Summer Game Fest yet.
We haven't gotten there yet.
Damn it.
You gotta wait.
Damn it.
I have words too. I have words too.
Okay,
Trust
okay. Well, before we even get to that, I will say for the past few weeks, not to the new stuff, but for the past stuff, Nintendo used to be like above Sega a lot, and like doing what Sega didn't do, and it was like making good games. But now I feel like things are kind of reversing. Not the fact that Nintendo's making not making good games, but the fact that Nintendo's not doing what the fans want. You
It's
know?
not even just what the fans want. They are. It's like they're actively trying to
They're
destroy
actively
whatever
working against their
goodwill.
fans.
It's like they're trying to actively destroy whatever goodwill like their brand has. And I look. I'm almost like wondering if like some like child took control of Nintendo and they're now doing it out of spite or something because their father didn't give them enough attention, or I don't know. But like, dude, some of these decisions they're making, it's there's gotta be like a petty reason behind it. Because logically, leasing your console and being able to brick it like that.
Oh, not only that, but certain, GameStop stapling the receipt to the
Okay,
box.
that's GameStop though.
No,
That's not.
no. This is Nintendo's fault for not putting anything in between the screen and the box. Like they did the last
Well,
time. There
apparently
was
they did.
no,
But you're not supposed to take off the screen.
no. That's not what I'm talking about. When you bought a Switch
It's-
One,
he's
there
talking
was
about the
styrofoam
packaging.
in there. There was
Yeah,
packaging
he's
stuff.
talking about the packaging.
There's no
Oh, that's
packaging, and the
stupid.
screen is bared open to the box.
My
Dude,
thing is,
I'm vetoing the Switch 2.
Dude,
Maybe I'll buy
wait
it
till I
after, like,
tell
Switch-
wait till I tell you what came out in the Xbox showcase that got me and soccer really hyped up.
Was it
Hold
Xbox's
on,
version of the-
don't say it. Don't you keep
hold
your
on,
mouth shut.
Okay,
We'll get to
okay,
it.
okay.
Don't spoil. Don't spoil.
All
But
right.
I gotta say one thing when it comes to the Nintendo Switch 2. I'm sorry, Nintendo fans. Y'all over here celebrating for getting the most average shit possible.
Dude,
Bro, not
you're
even
getting
that.
like, I get that handheld, right? I get that handheld.
Dude,
But
the
like,
Steam Deck did that better.
the
No,
Steam
this-
Deck did it better.
Wait, listen to
And
this.
don't
Hold
even
on.
get me started. Don't
No,
even
no.
get me started
Galaxy,
on the
hang
fact that one
People,
guy, I don't know who he
No,
is, what
Galaxy.
his qualifications are, but someone said that the Nintendo Switch 2, they had to have paid him. There's no way he meant this in reality. But the Nintendo Switch 2 was the greatest handheld device.
Brother, Galaxy,
Hell no.
let me
The Steam Deck is right there.
hold on. Every video on YouTube that is about the Nintendo Switch 2 has been about the Mario Kart racing game, and it's free roam of just going to bus stations and watching characters get on and off and going, "Oh my god, this is so innovative. This is so cool." Buddy, you were literally just playing the
Let's
worst
save
bus stop
racing stuff
simulator.
for later.
That Mario
Yeah,
game
Let's
is
save
trash.
Mario Kart for a second.
All
Let's
right.
save Mario
We'll
Kart
bring
for
a
a
little bit
second.
of Mario Kart when we get to
All right,
State of Play.
so-
'Cause I got word.
So
I
Sony,
have
Sony State of
freaking
Play
work.
was only about 45 to 50 minutes long. Usually it's about an hour. They really gave us nothing. So it wasn't really enough to sit there and write home about and being like, this is the
I
best.
almost-
But it's just
almost
enough to
wonder-
make you go,
I
I'm kind
almost
of
wonder if the
interested.
reason they didn't give us a lot is because of is State of Play usually like a couple days after or a couple days before the Game Fest.
Just
So
give
State of
me the
Play
book.
is 2 days before Games Fest, but the thing of State of Play is for Sony to focus on all of their stuff, what their studios are pumping out, and then State of Play is also where you want to, where if you really want to hit the hype, you wait and then you release your bigger titles and stuff like that for State
Yeah.
of Play
I'm
for
gonna say this
the
much.
Game
I'm gonna-
Fest. But they really didn't do anything,
say
and
this.
Game Fest mainly focused on indie developers this year. It really didn't cover any big heavy hitters. So there was
I will
that.
say this much. When it comes to like Nintendo fans, no offense, like I said, love y'all.
Y'all are
Best
trash.
friend. My
Straight
best
up.
friend is a huge Nintendo fan. He's the
Beat
Mario
him to
not
death.
Sonic, right? But look, I'm gonna say this now. If you want to play Mario Kart this year,
Hold
just
on.
get Sonic Racing.
No, shut up. Nope. Hold on. So that was State of Play. Not a lot going on with it. Very lackluster in almost every instance of it. Really only giving
They
people.
saved their big ticket item. Let's be real here. They saved their big ticket items for State of Play or for Game Fest.
But that's
For
the
Game
problem. They didn't really introduce anything new for Game Fest. They gave us stuff that they announced last year that's just coming out in like next year, or some things that are releasing this year. There wasn't really anything new or innovative. Summer's Game Fest though was the most hyped thing I have watched. Second most hyped thing. Xbox Showcase was my number one. I have the list in front of me from Game Fest. Mortal Shell 2 did not expect to get a sequel. One of my favorite games I've played. It's a mixture of Souls-like games with medieval stuff. Really cool.
Okay.
Death Stranding 2 on the beach we got, which was amazing. I'm in love with it. It's coming out everywhere. They gave us a trailer of a clip, which was so out of left field, but I enjoyed it. We have Chronicles Medieval, which is a medieval sandbox game, which has the voice actor Tom Hardy / actor. He's in there. I'm skipping this one. I'm going on to the next thing. They got a friend of ours really excited. Code Vein 2 is coming out.
Ooh, I heard about
And
that.
it is.
Yeah,
They were
I never
upset.
played that.
They
but
were
I'm
upset that the
hyped for
game
it.
was not coming out this year. I told them to go watch the trailer. It deserves to cook and come out next year. Leave it in the oven a little bit longer. It's gonna be perfect.
The
We're
thing is,
getting,
it's gonna be competing with GTA 6, which is a problem.
buddy. I don't even think GTA 6. People don't even care about it anymore. I'm sorry. They're trying to generate this hype for the game that just really isn't there like it was when it was first announced. There is no hype anymore. People are ticked off. It is the same thing that happened with Cyberpunk 2077. People just want the game now. They don't care
That's
anymore.
true.
You've had 13 years plus an additional 2.
But
Nobody
at the
cares
same-
anymore.
But at the same time, you got to remember that the memes are keeping it alive.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
again, that's a very small.
So
It's not
How much
nobody cares.
How
for
much
it.
longer can the memes keep it alive?
Yeah.
that's a
the
great
thing.
question. We'll have to see. My bet's on 2 months.
No, there's a current bet
I-
going on that when the game drops, the rapture's going to happen or the coming of Christ. There are current
Oh, yeah,
online
no.
bets of the rapture happening the day the game drops.
Dude, I'll bet against that. Wait, I can't bet. Dude, I hate living in Texas. I want you to know, right? The past 2 Super Bowls, I have bet correctly. I even tried so hard to like go on Dual Kings or whatever, like those
FanDuel,
sports
stuff
betting.
like
And I
that.
tried putting money on and I would have won. I would have won
All right.
if I could, but I live in a state where sports betting is not allowed.
All right, here's the next
Screw
one.
that.
From Section 9 in Epic Games, we're getting End of Abyss, which everyone thought was Little Nightmares 3, but it's not. It's a completely separate game. It looks really good, and I'm kind of stoked. Then we're getting a game that was announced, I think, like 2 years ago, Mouse PI for Hire, which is in that rubber hose style cartoony from the 1930s.
I remember. Yeah.
Looks really good. I'm excited for it. We'll have Troy Baker as the hero voice of Jack Pepper.
Now, I'm gonna be honest. There are a couple games that stood out to me, and it was First off, the fact that we got 2 Lego games is crazy, to
Buddy,
me.
I'm about to get to them on the list. I'm just reading off this list, and then whatever picks the interest, we'll talk about it.
Okay.
For all you Game of Thrones
Hurry up,
fans, there's
Captain.
the War for Westeros, which is
I need gameplay footage of that. Because that actually looks kind of cool.
there is none, unfortunately. All we got was
Yeah.
the trailer. It's a RTS game set in the world of Game of Thrones. To all of you Sado Russian fans, we're getting Atomic Heart 2 and The Cube, which is an experimental multiplayer game. It's kind of cool. Wasn't expecting a sequel for the first game, mainly because of the way the robots were. I'm actually stoked. Galaxy, I know you're going to love this one. Marvel Cosmic Invasion, which is a 2D side-scroller beat-em-up that just announced
I'm
She-Hulk
gonna
and
be honest.
Rocket
I'm
Raccoon.
gonna be honest. I am a Marvel fan. I'm a superhero fan, right?
Yep.
That's true. I don't really care.
brother,
I know that's
17
crazy.
characters, and the art style is awesome.
It is. It's a good game and it's a fun game, dude. It makes me. It reminds me of like those like old like Ninja Turtle arcade machines,
Yeah, that's the
or
point.
like
It's a
literally.
2D beat 'em up brawler.
Yeah, it's a great it's a great game, right? I just not like it, and I'd probably get it if it's on sale, right? I'm not hyped for it if that's a good word. Like I'm not like for example, like the Marvel Pokemon, right? That whole thing. I was like, dude, that's sick. For the Galaxy Invasion, I'm like, okay, cool, I guess.
All right,
But
next game we have that's coming out is Onimusha: Way of the Sword, which I don't know much about it, but it's Capcom's newest
yeah,
up and coming game. It kind of piqued my interest, but other than that, it's kind of in that meh realm of I don't really know much. I need more for it. We're getting a really good VR game that's in the Jim Henson puppet styles called Felt That Boxing, FELT. It looks funny.
Mhm.
It
I did
plays like
hear
Mike
about that.
Tyson's Knockout. So there's
I did
that.
hear about that. That was pretty interesting.
We're
Me
getting.
personally, no.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
All right, we're getting a new IP from Tactic Games and Square Enix, which is a 24-player game called Killer Inn. Some players
remember
are
that.
assigned to be wolves, and they must eliminate all other players called lambs without being found out. We don't really
I
know
don't
much
think
more.
that'll do well.
A lot longer than other games that have come out. It piqued my interest. It's really got me going. This is pretty cool. We're getting this game was announced 4 years ago, and it's finally coming out. I think it's this year on October 30th. Arc Raiders, which is a multiplayer extraction shooter, is finally launching.
Right.
The one game that I'm waiting for to come on console, Dune Awakening, which launches in 2 days.
That was crazy. I was not expecting a Dune game.
Oh, dude, I've been watching people play it. It has had me laughing. This next game has been in development for the longest time. And the reason why its development was so long is because it's made out of stop motion animation. This is a co-op platformer called Out of Words. I am truly excited. It looks great. I want to play it. Shut up and take my money. This game is
If
awesome.
it's co-op, I'll play with you.
Oh, dude.
You know what? Maybe one of these days. Maybe one of these days we stream that, or like stream like Split Fiction or something.
Yes. This game Out of Words comes out next year. It looks great. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to YouTube and look up Out of Words. Watch that trailer. It is stop motion animation for a video game is insane in this day and age. Perfect.
Honestly, that's a cool concept because dude, I'm gonna be honest. It's so much. I feel like we're a society that's based off of nostalgia so heavily,
Absolutely.
right? But I also feel like a lot of times we ignore certain aspects of the past when it comes to like for example, right? A while ago, like we are drawing further and further away from like 2D drawn animation, like in the old Looney Tunes style. A little bit ago, there was a Looney Tunes movie that came out called "The Day the Earth Blew Up," and it was completely rendered and like drawn. It was a drawn animated, like it was animated by drawing it 2D style, right?
Yeah.
Throughout the entire movie, everything about it. And it felt, and I went to go see it, and it filled me with so much like nostalgia, right? I'm only 24, but I remember like going on like cartoon, or not cartoon, Boomerang, right? And seeing all this. So, and I feel like because it's not profitable and it takes more effort, we are a society of nostalgia, but I feel like a lot of times people aren't willing to put in the work.
Yeah. But this game has been
For
the development cycle, and I think they put out a video of how they were making everything. It's insane. It looks good. I highly recommend people put it on your wish list just to check it out. 2K and Hangar 13 are bringing us Mafia: The Old Country, which is so good to finally get another Mafia game. I've been playing all the
that looked
originals.
really good.
pretty good. Lego Voyagers is a game that caught my surprise. It's a 2-player co-op game from Annapurna Studios.
Can I be honest with you? Right,
it's these two
I
one by
loved-
ones, one by studs, as your characters. I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know how I feel about it. Here's the thing, right? As a kid, right, I religiously played every single Lego game. Lego Star Wars, Lego Rock Band, like Lego
Agreed.
Pirates of the Caribbean, even the DS games where
Oh,
it was literally like
absolutely.
the first Lego Ninjago game, the first Lego Castle game, right? I played every single one of them, right? You go, you unlock, you have a story mode, you unlock, you have a world to explore, right? For most of them, I played every single one.
Yo, Gal.
Yeah, what's up?
I ain't gonna lie to you. I was the same way, but I think we can both agree
This game
that
looked good.
Indiana Jones game. The game does look good.
This game
It
looked
does.
good.
I miss. I'm gonna be honest. I was not a fan of Lego Horizons. I think, right?
Oh yeah, where you had a lot of
Sure,
the
that's-
creative
And I'm-
freedoms.
Me? I was all about that Indiana Jones. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Yeah, it was great. Dude, Indiana Jones, Star Wars. Like, dude, I religiously played those. I would save up Christmas money, like chore money, to go and buy these games. For the Wii. Dude, Wii was awesome. But again, my problem is that I feel like either Lego, I feel like part of the problem is with the IPs Lego has. There's not a lot of either the IPs aren't popular enough, or they've already done the games that are part of it. Like, let's be honest, I don't really think you can make another Lego Ninjago game or a Lego.
Oh, make a Lego Sonic game. I don't even care.
Dude,
do
I
not care.
with them finally introducing Lego One Piece sets, right? I am begging, pleading for one day we get a Lego One Piece video game.
No,
Be awesome. That would be awesome.
I don't want
I mean, hey, it has the wide roster of characters for a Lego game.
the
It
one
does.
the
boss
one
fights
reason
could be
why I
dope as
don't
hell.
the one reason why I don't really see it coming to fruition for that is One Piece is very violent. Lego is a really
and
kid
Star
friendly.
Wars isn't.
No, hold on. The thing is,
I'll be honest.
One Piece
Star
is
Wars
more
is
violent than
walking
Star Wars.
genocide. Not Star Wars is walking genocide and an actual dictatorship.
Yeah, but the problem is Star Wars is also meant for kids. It's in a way that kids can understand. One Piece literally has swearing in
One
it.
Piece and Star Wars are pretty much the same.
No.
Actively, okay.
No,
I'm gonna be real. Does not matter. You can always
I'm gonna be
censor
real.
anime.
I
They've
don't
done
see
it
them
multiple
making
times.
that game.
They've
Here's
done
the
it
thing,
so
with
many
One
times.
Big
Piece-
okay.
with
You want to know
One
the
Piece
real
and-
reason
with
why
One
we're
Piece
never
and
gonna
Star
get
Wars,
one?
they ain't-
Hold on.
No.
The real reason we're not going to
Why?
get one is that Lego is not going to sit there and work on the license to get a game made by the studios that originally made them, because that studio kind of doesn't exist anymore. Nobody can make Lego games the way Traveler's Tale did. And Traveler's Tale doesn't exist anymore. They went bankrupt in like 2016.
I forgot about that.
That is the number
you
one
are
reason
right.
why we are not going to get
I-
one. And Lego is no longer working on dishing out to other things to get these IPs. They want to build everything in-house. So they're going to do it themselves. They're not going to go pay nobody to do it. So Lego's not even going to
Dude, that
focus on
sucks
that.
though.
That's
That's
stupid,
the
though.
real reason why
That's
we're not going
fucking
to get
retarded.
that game. It's not
That's-
because
He's right.
Lego,
That's
retarded,
stupido.
Lego wants to ensure that
That-
everything
that
that they
is so
make is under
retarded.
is in their hands. That way, they have the full creative freedom and control. And people just are not willing to pay the money to buy the licenses for it. Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga was a hit, but that was the last game that studio made because they were tired of paying for the IP. The studio was already going under, and Lego just wants that control over it for their product. We're not going to get one anytime soon. It's just not going to happen. That's why
I don't know, man. I just
Annapurna
miss-
Studios
I miss
that's
the old
making
Lego
one is
games.
different.
They were awesome.
They're an
It's
in-house studio.
stupido.
Nicktoons: The Dice of Destiny is a game I never thought we were gonna get. which
That shocked me.
it looks
Especially
like
when you go from multiverse. Wait, no,
not
not
multiverses.
multiverses. What was the last Nick game we got?
I
Wasn't
don't.
it that
I
one?
think it was I think it was Brawl Stars. It was like
Yeah.
a Smash Bros.
So to go from All Star Brawl to that
I
just seems weird.
really out of left field with that one. Caught me off guard.
Yeah.
Because it's not just like they show like SpongeBob and all that, but it's not just them. It's almost everything under the Nickelodeon banner. But we only saw Fairly Odd
Yeah.
Parents and SpongeBob. We didn't really see like anything else, so I don't know if there's gonna be additions to it. So it's something to kind of keep an eye out on, but I don't really think this is gonna be a game that's gonna reach popularity at a certain time.
Probably not.
We have the release.
Not unless they like again they I feel like one of the biggest parts with like video games and movies nowadays is that they mess up the marketing and that causes people to lose interest. Whether to be honest, I feel like that's one of the reasons why Marvel movies is doing so bad. And like for example, like Thunderbolts wasn't exactly a good didn't do well in the box office. And I feel like that whole new Avengers like marketing thing kind of ruined it.
Yeah, they
I
didn't
think
really
they
give it
should-
time to flesh out with.
They didn't give it
Thunderbolts.
enough. First off, they didn't give it enough time. But I think it should have been that they just kept it Thunderbolts. But
Yeah.
then, to everyone's knowledge who's seen the movies, it's like, oh wait, okay, so it's Thunderbolts, but in actuality, it's New Avengers. Like that should have been a people thing.
It should have.
But
It
and
should,
like
it
not
should
only
have
that,
just
though,
been
but
like.
honestly,
It should just be
I
like,
think
where's the
Captain
new
America.
Avengers?
I think Captain America. I think Captain America: Brave New World would have done better
If it
if-
didn't have the Red Hulk.
if they didn't advertise the Red Hulk fight. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
that should have
it
been
for
secret.
a second time after I first watched it, and it got me thinking that dude, that would have been a sick, shocking thing.
Yeah, that would have been great as like a oh my god, but they didn't do
Like
that.
you get people
Also-
talking, but
Also, I have a question. If we have Bob now, are we getting the Sentry? Are we going to be getting the Sentry?
We are getting
we
Sentry.
have the Sentry.
We have them.
I have not watched it yet, so I'm wondering,
Oh,
did
then we
they
can't
add
talk
the
about
Sentry,
it. Go
or is
watch
it
it.
just,
They added-
We'll
or
come.
is it
No, no. Go back.
or is
Go
it just
watch
Void?
it. Go watch
it
it. We'll
just
talk about it
Void?
later.
Is
Go
it-
watch it.
No, we got both. We
Okay.
got
Go
both,
watch. Go
and
watch the movie. Then come back to us.
They did Bob justice. They did it just. Dude, I'm gonna be honest, right? First off, y'all know that originally Steven Yeun was supposed to play Bob, right? Sentry.
Nope.
Seeing originally Steven Yeun was supposed to play him, right? The voice of Invincible was supposed to play him, right? But because
Yep.
of scheduling conflicts due to I think it was either Mickey 13 or Mickey 17 or
It was Mickey 17.
it was Mickey 17, he had to step aside. But the Lewis Pullman literally killed it. Dude,
I'll
was
definitely,
a-
I'll check it out. But on to back to gaming.
Yeah, go ahead.
Next-
we went way off topic.
Next thing that they had announced, which it's already out. It dropped like 2 days ago or a day ago. Liza P Overture, the DLC finally came out. Great DLC. I love it. Beautiful. Mwah.
Yeah.
Love Liza P.
Agreed.
The next
I've seen
game.
gameplay. I gotta play those games, man. I
The
have to.
next game caught me off guard because of the way it was introduced. It is described as Doki Doki Literature Club meets Silent Hill. Say hello to the game
Okay, now
called,
you got me interesting.
called Fractured Blooms.
Yeah,
I don't
I
understand it, but the game is interesting and it's got my attention. It's something I'm
I mean, I
definitely
feel
going
like
to look
if
out
you-
for.
if you are like horror games, I feel like you'll enjoy it.
It's a
I don't know, that's
first-person
not my
horror
cup of tea.
adventure game from Serenity Forge.
Yeah,
It's got my
I think it's gonna be a good game from what I saw. I don't think I'm not gonna play it, but I think people who are a fan of that genre are gonna be eating well with that game. I think that's gonna be a good one.
all right.
As a fan of that genre, I'm definitely interested to see where that.
Oh,
ends.
wait till I tell you about the game at the very end that was announced that had me dying with.
Oh, yeah. Wait, you haven't seen the
Hold on.
Summer Game Fest, did you, Loki?
The next thing, I believe this is the same studio that made Shovel Knights. I think it's them, or Hollow Knight.
Mhm.
Say hello to Mina the Hollower, which is by Yacht Club. It is a top-down, almost like OG Zelda, not really style. What are you doing? No. Top-down side scroller Legend of Zelda style game. It looks pretty cool. Not my cup of tea, but it looks pretty cool. The demo is available now.
They make Shovel Knight, by the way.
They did.
Yeah, I just looked it up. They made Shovel Knight.
All right.
They did not, because it didn't sound right when you said they made
Hollow Knight.
Hollow Knight. It didn't sound right.
I knew it was something Knight. I couldn't remember which one it was.
I return.
Another VR game, which everyone's upset by because it doesn't feature our boy. We are getting a Deadpool VR game starring Neil Patrick Harris as the Marvel anti-hero instead of Ryan Reynolds.
First off, I love Neil Patrick Harris as an actor, right? I feel like I've seen him in a lot of stuff, and for the longest time, I had no idea, because I loved the TV show How I Met Your Mother, right? That whole thing, it's probably one of my favorites. And dude had me so convinced that he was a straight guy from his playing a Barney that when I found out he was gay, I was shocked.
Yeah, so when they dropped it, I was wondering who the voice was because it didn't sound like Ryan Reynolds. But Neil Patrick
I don't mind.
Neil Patrick Harris playing Deadpool, he did it perfectly well. He sold the character.
He did great. Dude, I know it's not Ryan Reynolds, right? I know. But again, Neil Patrick, because you're not going off a body type or anything or looks,
yeah,
Neil Patrick Harris's voice is great. Like, dude has that like comedic kind of like, because honestly, when you think about it, his portrayal of Barney, that kind of swagger, that kind of like,
that cockiness, that bravado, everything about him, it works for this character.
It transfers over to Deadpool really well. Like, you take Barney.
I'm going to get a Quest 3, and I'm definitely going to play this game.
You get a Quest 3. Do me a favor and also play the Arkham Shadows game.
I would, but I'm not that much of a Batman VR fan. I love the Arkham games, but I don't care for Batman VR. This has me because I love guns, I love shooting, I love all that stuff. Batman, I'm not really a fan of the fighting and all that stuff. Granted, the only thing I would do is probably just sit there and keep beating on a dead body. That's probably about it. I'm going to lock this bridge. I'm going to lock the bridge. I swear these people keep coming up here.
Speaking of the goblin that you've been using.
Who the heck let this weirdo out of his cage?
All right. The next.
I fucking keep this shit running. Speaking of keeping this shit running, why are you being used to power this shit?
I'm going to lock this bridge. I swear on everything, holy. I'm going to jettison all of you into the airlock.
What did I do? Dude, I'm being...
You can try, boy!
Next game that really surprised everybody. We were not expecting this. And when I say genuinely surprised, we genuinely were not expecting another game. Dying Light is releasing another game, which is going to feature Dying Light 1's hero, Kyle Crane, returning to the franchise in Dying Light the Beast. This is a guy that was thought to have been dead in the second game.
I looked up responses and people were shocked.
I thought it was DLC for Dying Light 2. This is a whole separate game.
I was not expecting that, I'm going to be real with you.
Neither was I. It caught me by surprise, and it got me really excited. I've been playing Dying Light 2. I am going to play this game. This game, it looks great. It was so out of left field, and it comes out August 22nd.
I hope they get the horror bits right, because
brother, go watch the trailer.
I really like the horror.
After this, go watch the trailer. It is worth it.
Wait, which one? Dead Night?
Dying Light, the Beast. That trailer is perfect.
It's a first-person survival horror game
with parkour.
Yep.
All right, the next game that's coming out. I thought it was a Life is Strange style game, or was a Life is Strange game. It's not. It's its own entity. say hello to the new game by Beethoven and Dinosaurs called Mixtape, which is about a trio of skateboarders destroying their town, I guess, because the image shows a
Oh.
car blowing up.
I don't know how I feel about that. That one was.
I thought it was a skateboarding game, like a full skater game. It's not. I don't know. It's too confusing for me, so I'm not really interested in it. There's a game that me and Soccer saw for the Xbox Showcase that when we talk about it, it is the most confusing thing. It had us for like the first 5 seconds and then lost us.
Okay, I think I don't remember the name.
I
of
have
it,
the-
but
I have the
remember
list.
what it is.
The next game
Oh,
is.
did we talk about Hitman?
No, we're about to get to it. It's 2 more games down.
Okay.
Yeah, give us a
Okay.
second. We'll get there.
The next game, this is coming out by Bandai Namco. It is called Toa and the Guardians of the Sacred Tree. It is a
Hey, that's
roguelite.
great. That's great. That's great. Hey, Bandai, love that you're making a new game. Sparking Zero first. Anyways.
No, never. This is a roguelite inspired by classic Japanese animations. It's set to launch September 19th. This game looks great. I love it. I don't
Really,
play
you had to put this on our
I don't play that much roguelites, but this might be one I'll play. We're getting our first ever single developer game from Indonesia with an action shooter called Acts of Blood. I thought it was a Sifu game. It is not a Sifu game. It is a martial arts shooter developed by one guy. It comes out in the summer of 2026. So that's a game to keep your eye out on if you're interested in martial art games like Sifu. That's going to be something you're really going to want to watch for. You have Scott Pilgrim X that's coming out. You have the game that's already out, but you have Hitman World of Assassins
That
with its
it
current level.
made me want to go back. It made me want to go and play the old Hitman games because
With-
that looks sick.
With its current level that was released that mimics the entirety of Casino Royale with former actors in there reprising their roles. Some of them, not all of them, because most of them are probably dead. We're gonna start. I'm gonna start shotgunning out games real quick because we've been on Game Fest for a little too long. Lego Party, Mario Party style multiplayer game with over 60 mini games built entirely out of Lego. I'm excited for.
Again, I don't know how I feel about. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Lego, I do, but it just gives off the vibe of a Mario Party knockoff.
But
you know?
again, it says Mario Party style. Every party game that's going to come out is going to take inspiration off of Mario Party. They're the first ones to kind of set the standard. Everyone's going to mimic it.
Yeah.
So Nintendo can go burn down. Hopefully they do with the Switch
Oh.
too.
Yeah, I hope
Wildgate,
they
Calling it a knockoff is kind of the point. It's supposed to be like the game to begin with.
yeah, it's
But at the same time, I think that we should give it like some grace.
I might
see the
play
trailer
it. Here's
first
the
and then
thing, though.
the trailer's
Here's the
great.
problem.
see the trailer first.
In order to have fan like to play those games,
Oh
you need
yeah,
to
I
have
saw that too. I'm
friends
not
who will
excited
play
for that.
them.
Bitch, I'm right here. The fuck?
Well, okay, I can't get you to play any other games, so I don't know.
All right, next game is a
It's not that you
PvP.
can't get
PvE
into,
game
it's the
called-
fact that I can't get the game. You know, I'm focused on currently trying to move out.
That's true.
Next game is called Wildgate. It is a spacefaring PvP
By Blizzard.
PvPvE
Or
multiplayer game.
more
God.
Blizzard.
If
Or
it's
more.
by Blizzard, I'm worried.
Well,
Okay.
it's okay. To be clear, it's former Blizzard devs. It's not from Blizzard. So it's the devs of Blizzard are now leading a studio called Moonshot Games.
Yeah.
Okay. So they got sick of like making mediocre games, so now they're trying to do their own
See,
thing.
I would
Good to
not
know.
call things Blizzard's made mediocre, considering that they're pretty much almost number one with what they've produced in quality. They've never had a
I
bad
mean, that's
quality game.
fair, but at the same time, sometimes they need to get off their ass. Is what I'm saying.
Oh no, trust. Since Microsoft bought them, they've been completely different. That most of their old developer teams and stuff are gone. It's a bunch of fresh new people. They've been churning out content like it's nobody's business. They've been great right now.
I'm like, they've been cooking.
Next game is Blighted by Guacamelee developer Drinkbox Studios. It is an isometric Metroidvania style action game. do with that with what you will. There's a game that I'm looking forward to. It's called Ill. It is a first-person horror survival title. In the trailer, towards the very end, they showed this demon baby running with the camera, and as it gets near your player character, the guy just kicks it across the room into a bottle of barrels. Brother, it had me dying of laughter. It was so funny. I want to play that game now. We're getting Mecha Break. It's called Ill. It's a new game, new first person. Mecha Break, we're getting July 1st. It's pretty cool. We're getting Resident Evil 9. I am so hyped for it. I am in love with it because the main character you play, her mom was a reporter in Raccoon City from one of the other Resident Evil games. I am excited to see we're going back to Raccoon City, supposedly 2 years after it was destroyed.
That ought to be interesting.
I'm really interested in it.
We get to see exactly what happened in that game. Get to see the difference in the play style. That's going to be cool.
The game, I think, comes out in 2026 or 2027, and it is also there's a current Capcom sale going on to celebrate, I think, their 40th anniversary. So yeah, like this is like really mind-blowing stuff, and I'm so happy.
My question is what main character will Resident Evil put in there next?
I'm hoping we don't get any more main lines. I'm loving these side characters. They're really fun. Also, from what they said,
that's fair. As long as it's not Leon.
They also said that it's supposed to be somewhere with Resident Evil 7 because one of the news articles in there is written by the protagonist of Resident Evil 9, Ashley Ashcroft, or whatever her name is, Grace Ashcroft. She wrote the article, even though I don't understand how her mom wrote an article. So it's the timeline's a little confusing as to where it's supposed to be. They say it's 2 years after the bombing of Raccoon City, but we don't really know much more. So we're hoping to get more information on that soon.
Yeah, we'll just have to see. But I will say that I'm really excited to see that Resident Evil is not just focused on Leon and Leon alone. Because no offense, Leon suffers what I call Shadow the Hedgehog syndrome, which is essentially you have
Leon.
I know, but like the problem with Leon is the fact of like I said, he suffers from Shadow the Hedgehog syndrome. He's so well known that most of the other fucking characters never really get time to shine in the community itself. Maybe not in the games, but in the community, most people only think of Leon when they think Resident Evil.
All right, so
no, I think of someone else.
I think of Chris.
Good old Ada Wong.
I think of Chris.
Yeah, that's because you have more than one brain cell.
If you think about it, Leon's only ever the lead in like 3 games. He's not named.
No, but he's the most popular.
I'm not saying that
Chris is the most popular, not Leon. Chris is.
I'm not saying that he takes a lot of the leading roles, but for most of my friends who I know, most of them know Resident Evil based off of Leon.
Yeah, no, Chris is the most popular character.
Yeah, no, Chris is obviously like the most popular, but that's like saying Sonic the Hedgehog is the most popular. Duh.
All right, next thing, Street Fighter 6 is getting a whole new Year 3 lineup with 4 new fighters: Sagat, Sea Viper, Ingrid, and Alex. I don't play Street Fighter 6.
Is it bad to say that I'm not really all that interested in that?
I don't play Street Fighter 6, but I'm happy they're finally getting more content, unlike some other game that, just kind of left everybody in the dust. NetherRealm Studios.
I'm still kind of upset, man.
There's a new multiplayer capture the flag game called Last Flag. The studio that's making it is called Night Street Games, and it is founded by Imagine Dragons lead singer Dan Reynolds.
Oh, that's cool. That is cool.
We're getting a Wu-Tang game.
At least we know that game's soundtrack is going to be hitting.
It's called Wu-Tang Rise of the Deceiver. It is a co-op action hack and slash RPG from Brass Lion Entertainment, and players will team up to face the Deceiver, an invasive, corrupting entity and its forces. and you're supposed to be saving one of the members of Wu Tang in that game.
Can we speed this through? Because I think
yeah.
we all know there's a game that we need to talk about
Uh,
that hasn't been said yet.
Yeah, and I'm holding off for that reason. Then we've got Into the Unwell, which is another Rubber Hose style animated game, which is pretty cool looking. Now onto the game that not everybody's looking forward to sitting here talking about, except maybe like 2 people. But it's a game that's got my interest really into it, and I want to play it. Sonic is getting a new racing game called Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, which is featuring 3 guests that were confirmed, which are Hatsune Miku, Ichiban Kasuga, and Joker from Persona 5, along with Steve from Minecraft.
So, by the way, first off, I just want to point out, right? Dude, the speaker who announced the game, right? He has my utmost respect for his massive balls, because he straight up called Mario Kart out.
Nice.
Oh yeah,
dude,
absolutely.
Respect to the man, because straight up called Mario Kart out for its.
What do you say?
I don't remember.
Fair, do you mind looking that up while I talk about this?
Talk about it.
Huh?
To talk about it, I'm looking it up.
Okay, thank you. So, long story short, right? First off, I've seen gameplay of Mario Kart Worlds, and it just doesn't feel like... It feels like a racing game, don't get me wrong, but it's like... I don't know, it feels off, if that's a way of saying it. Like, I've played a bunch of different... I've played 64, I've played Double Dash, I've played Wii, I've played 3DS, I've played Mario Kart 8. Like, I've played a bunch of Mario Kart games. And don't get me wrong, their new style of, like, connecting the tracks is cool.
I have what he said.
But, yeah, here we go. What do you say?
This is by Iizuka, which is the head of Sega. He said, unlike the other kart racing game, this game will have online cross-platforming matchmaking, so you can race against all your friends across all of the platforms.
Yes.
What's crazy though is with the new edition.
Luke, I love you.
And we'll talk about get this more in depth with Xbox when we talk about the Xbox.
I know I'm trying to find the list because it just ended like 4 hours ago, so I'm trying to find the latest article right now.
Yeah.
So it's becoming a problem.
We'll get to more when we get to that. But what's crazy is that because of Xbox and Steam essentially colluding with their devices, right? You now have PlayStation exclusives on Xbox.
Hey, gal.
Yeah, I would not do that.
Look at my screen. Look at my camera.
I would not do that right now.
It's fine. Doesn't matter.
I mean, he's just gonna put his face on the internet. So okay.
Who
I
cares?
can't see your camera.
He's black. He looks like every other black guy out there.
Anyways, so gal, I'm just saying this now. You and I are definitely going to be fucking racing one of these days.
All right, I've got
probably. I'm honestly, I'm not getting. I've already, dude. The fact that again, unless they redo their licensing bullshit, I'm not doing it.
All right.
So
I've got the Xbox showcase pulled up.
Hey. Gal, I despise, like, I don't like playing Mario Kart or any like type of racing game. I will gladly start learning for this game. Okay?
All right, there were 29 games that were announced for Xbox Showcase.
I'm like that showcase went for a while.
Huh?
And a pretty big news for that's not game related.
I can just start some internet beef real quick. Yo, Nintendo fans. Remember how y'all were always making fun of Sonic fans for not having, like, good games, making fun of us for Sonic Lost World, making fun of us for fucking Sonic Secret of the Rings, Sonic Forces, Sonic 06? I'm not gonna lie, Sega do what Nintendo don't right now. I'm not even gonna hold you. I ain't gonna hold you.
All right.
Dude, that's gonna cause some heat in the comments.
So that's pretty much all of Summer Games Fest. The next thing, Xbox Showcase, which just launched, which was just today, it ended about 4 to 5 hours ago, has again, Xbox be cooking in the kitchen. That chef is pumping out good works. Everything that they showed has made me go, I'm playing this. I do not care. I am wasting my life away on this. There are so many games that they announced that it literally made me go, thank God Game Pass exists, because even if it didn't exist, I would still pay for these games. Granted, it would take me a lot longer to get to them, but because most of these were Game Pass exclusives on day one, brother, chef's kiss, perfect things.
I'm like Alpha and I were watching it like when it was going on. We were like, holy crap, this thing, like they're cooking.
So we are getting, and I'm gonna look at this list, and I know this isn't everything on here, but we're getting Persona 4 Revival, and I hate to say this. We are getting Call of Duty Black Ops 7.
Black Ops 7
from Raven Software. No. I don't care.
I saw that. I was like, what? 7? Really?
I'm gonna be real with you. I don't give a fuck.
Same. I don't care. Call of Duty can stop.
No, I really don't care about it either.
I bet you there are Black Call of Duty fans, right, that are like screaming for the house. I am not one of. Don't get me wrong. Call of Duty Ghost was my very first M-rated game.
I can tell you exactly what Call of Duty fans are doing right now.
Me and my dad stayed up till like 2 a.m. playing, and he had to like take a power nap because he had to go to travel for his job. And he had to leave at like 5 a.m. So me and him straight up stayed till like 2 a.m. playing Call of Duty Ghosts, doing the zombies and everything, right?
So
listen.
I'm not a Call of Duty guy.
This is what Call of Duty fans are doing right now. They are groaning into their hands, their face into their hands, because we're getting another crappy game with the. Hold on. No. Call of Duty is struggling to sell their Seth Rogen weed marijuana packs so bad that they're trying to give things away for free for people to come and play and purchase it, that they're dropping Black Ops 7. They're going to drop the same 11 marijuana skins, and it's not going to sell. And every Call of Duty Black Ops 6 fan is groaning into their hands right now. Nobody wants this.
Activision. No. Activision. I'm going to say this to you, okay? Listen. Come here. Come closer. We don't give a flying fuck about a new game. If you do some good, instead of trying to like bait us on nostalgia of the game, make good games.
Again,
make a new game. Make something that's not Call
like
of Duty.
I have told Galaxy, you're calling out the wrong people. You're calling out Treyarch and Raven Software.
Hey, if it's
make a good game,
fix your shit. I personally
call it the developers. Don't call it the publisher. Call it the developers.
Hey, that's great.
Please make a good game.
Fucking making this piece of garbage. Fix it. Listen, you are literally becoming the Disney fucking gameplay.
Call of Duty has done nothing
right.
to innovate anything. They literally brought what they called Omni Movement, which has been in so many other first-person shooter games that it didn't even feel fresh. It was the most annoying thing. And then people jokingly said, man, I would love to sit there and trash talk my opponent mid-game. And then they allowed open hot micing, which was the worst thing they ever did, because all you had to do was play really loud sounds.
Call of Duty is the Nintendo of
Call of Duty is the Dallas Cowboys of first-person shooters.
Hey, no joke. Hey, Call of Duty, Nintendo. One question, one thing that I need, if you want to learn how to like get people to want your shit, stop giving us old shit as if it's new.
Look, I think I said this earlier, right? But whoever said that the Nintendo Switch 2 is the most like innovative, like best, like handheld device, dude, you need to. How much are they paying you? Genuinely, how much are they paying you?
Let's go.
Let's
go to the next. Let's go to the next one, because we've got a long list.
You just never seen the Steam Deck.
Yeah, they got a lot of stuff today. So
we've got a long list of games. We've got Super Meat Boy 3D, which got me so pumped because I thought it was a Mario game at first. But the way the trailer started, it's so good. I'm so happy for Super Meat Boy. We're getting Plague Tale Legacy Resonance, a game that had me in soccer going, ooh, what is this? This looks cool.
Yeah, like what is this
Perfect,
thing?
perfect game for the saga of that game. We're getting High on Life
But
2.
did he talk about the gear one or no?
Not yet. That's
Hold on.
coming.
Hold on. Shut up. We're getting what?
We're getting
getting what?
High on Life 2.
Hallelujah.
The
Hallelujah,
trailer was
hallelujah.
weird.
The first game wasn't that good. I don't know where you
The
said
first
the
game was
Hallelujah
the first game was
for.
fun. The DLC was better. I don't know where the story is gonna go with this one. From what they showed, it looks like you're supposed to be some kind of punk, no longer an assassin type thing. I don't know. There wasn't really
Bounty
much
hunter
on
is what
there.
you were.
Yeah, bounty hunter, not an assassin.
Hey. If I get to shoot another kid, I'm fine.
We're getting
What? Hold
we're-
on, what?
We're getting Invincible versus, and I'm so upset they did not drop the Conquest line with him going, "I'm so lonely." I would have loved it at the
I'm gonna
very
be
end of the
honest,
trailer.
I-
I would have loved it.
I've heard mixed reactions to that because a lot of people, when an Invincible
Invincible-
game was known,
Okay,
a
let me
lot of people were hoping it would be a
open world.
like you could go and explore.
Brother-
I kind of if this is like Invincible, or not Invincible, Injustice or like Mortal Kombat, right? Where it's a 2D fighter, but you have it
Not
have a
2D.
story mode.
Those aren't 2Ds; those are 3D fighters.
No, I know, but I'm talking about like where you have like a side to side fighting, right? And you have it follow a story mode. I think this could be really good.
I do too. I'm seeing the models. They look pretty good. I'm gonna be real. As long as they follow like Injustice 2 and not like Mortal Kombat 1. Listen, I love Mortal Kombat 1. Don't get it wrong. But at the same time, there's a lot of mid shit there. I'm not gonna lie. They did bring it back with the Animaniacs though, or whatever the fuck they call it. The animatroniac, the animatroniacs or some shit. I
Okay.
don't fucking care.
So
Animaniacs?
my biggest thing for this game is when the trailer was going, I was like, "Oh my god, this game looks so good!" And at first, I didn't know what to expect until I saw blue and yellow fly across the screen, and then I was like, "Oh, it's an Invincible game." But then I got worried because the game looked too good to be true, and the first thing I said was,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's a mobile game." Because usually when they look really, really good, it's always a mobile game, but it wasn't. And then I thought, oh, it's going to be a turn-based game. I was wrong there as well. This has my interest. Me and Soccer have already said that we are probably going to
When
get
you
it
were
and fight
first
each
mentioning
other.
it,
Yeah, I think we're gonna be
will
fighting each
get
other.
I will get a whole new fucking job just to fucking battle you
Coming on
two.
Game Pass, I
Don't get me wrong.
think.
Oh yeah, and it's coming on Game Pass. Most of these games are on
The
Game
day
Pass.
one Game Pass.
Day one Game Pass.
But I got one thing. But hey, I got one thing to say. I'm gonna be real. When you guys were explaining it, I saw a couple of ads on YouTube, and I was like, "Oh, but it was a mobile game." So I'm like, "Oh, is that what they're talking about?" I'm not that interested then. But then you said it was on Xbox. I'm like, "Ooh, hold on, looking good."
The
Yeah,
next
it kind of lost my interest at first, but then I'm like, okay, like this could be fun, especially if you're fighting against like some of your best friends.
All right, we're gonna start spit rolling a little bit faster with these.
Let's go.
We're getting Outer Worlds 2. I'm so excited for it. It's a great game. I
Yeah,
love
that
the
looks
first
good.
one. We're getting
I haven't
Grounded
played the first
2.
one.
We're getting Grounded 2, which I'm so excited for. It's the same 4 characters from the
That-
first, but they just got out of high school. We're getting Planet of Lana 2, Children of the Leaf. Looks beautiful. At Fate's End, beautiful.
That
looking
one I'm
game.
excited about.
I haven't really seen that one.
We're getting Beast of Reincarnation by Game Freak, which when I showed the trailer, I immediately said Pokemon. We're getting Blood of the Dawnwalker by Rebel Wolves, which was very interesting. We're getting Ninja Gaiden 4. We're getting the DLC for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle called The Order of the Giants. We're getting Season of the Worm Cult. We're getting Season of the Worm Cult Part 1 for Elder Scrolls Online. We're getting Chronos the New Dawn. We're getting Age of Mythology Retold Heavenly Spear. We're getting There Are No Ghosts at the Grand, which is a hotel game. We're getting a solo leveling Arise game, which is a 4-player co-op game, which is, I think it's turn-based if I remember correctly. I don't really care for solo leveling.
I'm only I'm only semi like excited for it, but at the same time, it's like
It,
it's turn based. I like turn based games, but like for solo leveling, I'm not exactly like
yeah,
too keen on seeing what
We're
they plan on doing
getting-
with that.
we're getting a game called
I don't like
Animo.
turn-based fighting.
We're getting a game called Animo, which is
Turn
adorable.
based fighting can be really good.
Yeah, go play Expedition 33, and you might like turn based.
Animo.
Animo,
Yeah, I was
which
about
is
to
an
say,
adorable
Animo.
looking
That,
game.
that one was adorable. I saw. Like, when I
That
saw it,
was-
like, oh, that's
It was
cute.
adorable. I loved it. We're getting
It was so
Tony.
cute. I'm actually really excited for that one.
We're getting Tony Hawk Pro Skaters 3+4.
Yep.
We're getting Gears of War Reloaded.
Yes. Yes.
Was that the one that you wanted or no?
No,
I don't think Tony Hawk will ever be as good as it was on the Wii with the Wii Fit board.
brother.
Shut your
no.
sacrilegious mouth.
Shut up. That's
I'm
sacrilegious.
kidding. I'm kidding.
We're getting
A sacrilege.
from what I could tell by this trailer, they are taking Gears 1 through 3 and Retribution and are updating them for the modern hardware and putting them all into one called Gears of War Reloaded. We're getting
That's cool.
we're getting a season
Excited.
for season 17 of Sea of Thieves called Smuggler's Tide.
Oh, I'm so excited for that one.
We're getting Final Fantasy 7 remake
I'm gonna be real.
Intergrade.
I know Alfaris is probably not as excited as the three of us are for that.
I hate
I
Final
know
Fantasy.
Alfaris
Which
is
one?
like Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves. I know he doesn't.
Oh no, I already said I was gonna reinstall it and just play it.
I'm like,
I'm
gonna
the
be
one
playing
who's
that
not a Sea of
100%.
Thieves guy. I'll be honest. I'm the one who's not a Sea of Thieves guy.
Yeah.
like
Oh.
Alpha is not that much. I'm a huge Soft fan. I love that game with like
We're
all my
get-
heart.
We're getting another remake of Final Fantasy 8 or 7, which nobody cares
Stop.
for. Stop making
Oh
them.
my god. Okay, hey. Who makes fucking Final Fantasy?
Square
I don't even
Enix.
care. Come here.
I don't know, but they need to stop.
It's Square
Square
Enix.
Enix.
Listen,
Stop
come here,
remaking
come here.
them. That's my problem. Quit remaking them because you're just dropping
My thing
Yeah,
is,
please.
you're dropping the remake
Listen,
and then you're
this is-
dropping Final Fantasy 16. Something I guess people have been waiting for. That's another new game. It's not a remake. It's a whole new thing.
listen,
So there's that. But I could
Listen.
care less for it, Square Enix to stop.
My problem is, isn't
Listen,
this like the 5th time they've remade 7?
Yes.
yeah, hold on. Back to the creators, whoever you are, come to my office right now. Y'all are literally becoming the same thing that I just said to fucking Nintendo and
Activision?
Square
fucking-
Enix back of the bus.
Yeah.
You sit in the back of the bus. You're done.
Yeah, you're-
Back of the
Get
bus.
back
Back
there.
of the class. You're done.
You know what? Since y'all clearly don't seem to get it, y'all are going to the short burst. You're going.
Y'all
to
going on the
bus,
short
okay?
bus.
You're all
on the
going.
short- no helmet, short bus.
Clearly, there's something wrong with your.
You guys are going to the morgue.
All right.
Dude,
Here's
I
the-
find dude,
Clearly you're all
we're bringing
retarded.
back the short bus analogy, or the back of the bus analogy.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Here's
Oh.
a game that
Mhm.
that
And
confused.
better yet, do me a favor. If you want to keep playing with Cloud and Tifa, do me a fucking favor. Just make a sequel with those characters. Stop just remaking the same fucking game.
All right. Here's a game that confused me and soccer the entire way through. We had no idea what
do
this
remind me.
was. We did not know what this was at first because when it showed it, we thought military shooter game. I thought the new Battlefield game, but then realized it's all Chinese, so it's
Oh.
not that. Then it introduced zombies,
Oh yeah, it's
sort
this
of.
one.
But the zombies, they don't
Let's
play
be
a
real,
central
that's
role of the
probably not
story.
too much Battlefield.
Then it introduced
And then also
superpowers.
superhero stuff.
It introduced superpowers and like fighting, like throwing electricity at people with guns and then getting shot and dying. This game was in all Chinese. It was translated via subtitles, but it lost me so much that I did not pay attention. This is called Mudang Two Hearts by EVR Studios. I don't know what the premise of the game is. I don't know if it's a zombie game
still have
or
no
if it's
clue.
or if
I've been
it's a
thinking about it for
superhero.
like 2 hours. I'm like, what?
A superhero thing. I don't know, and I could kind of care less. This game is going to do well in the Chinese
Yeah,
market.
nobody will know.
It's going to do well in China. It's not going to do that well overseas. It's just
Are you
not
talking
gonna,
about Mudang?
Mudang Two
Yeah.
Hearts. It is going to do well in China. It is not going to do well in the United States or overseas.
I saw clips of it.
It's confusing.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't.
I
what-
I
think
don't think it's going
more.
to do well here.
too
I
many
think I need to see
identities.
more.
too many things all
Like-
at once.
Me
I was
personally,
like,
I
okay,
just-
this is cool, it's a shooter game, but then all of a sudden zombies and superpowers. I'm like, what? No, get out of here.
Here's the
Me
game.
personally, I just think that like if we're going to like get stuff like that, you're gonna need like a whole package trailer to like get me right. You need a gameplay trailer.
Okay, so
Because
the trailer, the reveal trailer was packed. Like it had a lot going on, but because everything kind of like was quickly bumping into the next, which I'm assuming are different points in the story, it's so like at first it starts off like a Tom Clancy stealth and stuff like that, and then it turns into like assassination stuff where like you're dropping out of the ceiling, stabbing people in the neck and stuff, and then it goes to these people are infected with something that turns them into like zombies, and then it's we jabbed this guy with a needle, now he can shoot electricity out of his hands, and then you're fighting him with guns. So it was very confusing. I need a gameplay trailer, but it's not going to do well over here. Now this is a game that really had me and Soccer going, we've got to play this. This game needs to come out. We need to play it. And that is Clockwork Revolution. That game
Yes.
I
go
heard about
watch
that one. I didn't really get to know too much.
go watch
I
the
didn't
trailer.
get to know too much of the game. But I will say, from what I'm hearing from Luke, he says as soon as like Ash's pregnancy is all and dealt with, he's buying that, and they're definitely playing together.
Brother, Clockwork Revolution is a game that has me. It's funny. I love it. I love the doll. That's a game that's going to be streamed by me. That is a game that I want to play now. Like, give it to me.
That's gonna
Shut
be
up.
streamed by me too.
Shut up and take our money. This game has me. It's got me hooked. I
Uh-huh.
love the steampunk vibe. I love the
Yeah.
time travel
Yeah, shut up and
mechanic.
take my money.
Shut up and take my money. Like, just rob me blind. I would not care. It's a game that I want to play. There's also Chronos: The New Dawn, which I don't understand what that game is supposed to be. The biggest highlight out of Xbox, which besides Clockwork Revolution had me and Soccer go, shut up and take my money. Xbox's comparing with Asus's ROG Ally. I want it. That thing is better than a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, no, I saw that. I'm getting that, especially because it can do Steam. Like I was,
Okay.
I'm already like, I was
Let
already
me-
about to buy a Steam Deck.
Okay, let me clear this misconception with Steam and Xbox. All right, everyone has been getting it wrong. Microsoft came out and explained how this works. It's only going to be on PC. Essentially, say you're playing a game that you got off the Xbox store, and you're playing it through the Xbox browser, and you go, man, I want to go play a game on Steam. Well, to do that, you'd have to close the Xbox browser, go launch Steam, wait for the load up, which is a few seconds, or depending on how fast your computer is, a few seconds to about a minute. Boom, pops up. You get all the advertisements for sales and everything in your face and stuff like that. You get all that stuff. What they want to do is basically where you go, you open the Xbox app, you play your game. Man, I had fun playing Grounded. I want to go play, say, Gary's Mod. Well, instead of closing the Xbox app, you click the Steam tab, and boom, you now have access to your Steam library that you can just go and play without ever having to open up Steam to like open the launcher. Essentially, they want to make it an all-in-one launcher that you can have, so you don't ever have to reopen Steam. That's all it is. It's not going to let you play PlayStation games like that on your Xbox or anything like that. It is just to be another browser launcher, and that is it. It's just
Okay, wait. So wait, the ROG Xbox Ally, right?
The
Didn't
Ally-
that say that it could?
It's the power of Windows with the freedom of Xbox, the freedom of Microsoft, or whatever it is, the freedom of Game Pass.
Yeah, it's about
That is
Windows.
only going to have access to the Xbox Game Pass library and whatever games, if you can, sync it to your library of games already installed. But it's mostly looks like it's only going to be for now until we get any more information on it. It is going to be any game you can play on Game Pass via the cloud. It's supposed to be handheld.
I'll still probably get it.
I'm going to get it because yes. Because before
How
I'm
much
probably
is
gonna
it?
get it.
we don't have a price yet. This was something that was announced like 2 or 3 years ago and has been in development for who knows how long. If anything, I'm thinking about $300.
If it's $300, I'm definitely getting
I'm
it.
thinking $299 or maybe like $349 because Asus has it's basically a controller that you attach to your phone and you play Game Pass that way, and that's about $100. So this could either be the low end price of the Nintendo Switch 1 or the low end price of a Steam Deck at $441, at like $399 to $4.
Wait, by the way, you said there was something I could touch from my phone.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah, there is. Like, there's something that you can buy.
There's an attachment that you can buy at like Walmart, Best Buy, GameStop that essentially turns your phone into like a tablet screen that you plug in via your charger port, and it connects that way, and you can basically use it like a controller. Say
Yeah,
you don't,
what is it called?
It's like a Kraken, I think.
The
Sorry, I'm
Kraken.
trying to buy it now because that's.
I'm trying to remember what it's called.
Was it Sea of
Backbone.
Thieves?
No, it's called Backbone. Backbone 1. It is compatible with most popular USB-C mobile devices. It lets you play cloud gaming, remote gaming, all that stuff.
Here's the thing. Do I have a USB-C or USB?
Brother, a phone would
Oh,
either
y'all
be
continue.
lightning.
Sorry,
Yeah, you're gonna be lightning. And
I
again,
forgot because you know what kind of phone I have.
Yeah.
That still trips me up that you found out what
Yeah,
kind of like you found the. I'll have what?
you'd have like lightning, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Because you're on the 14.
I have a 14.
Yeah, so you'd have lightning. But yeah, so I'm so excited for that because as soon as they showed it,
Gal, what?
it's great.
Gal, I knew. What's the problem?
Oh, because the way I found out was I just went, Galaxy, why do you have an iPhone?
No, you said why don't you have an iPhone 14?
I was like, why do you have an
how do
iPhone
you not
14?
have an iPhone 14?
And he goes, how do you know this? I go, oh, because I get an email because you logged
To be
in.
fair, I guess there was an iPhone 14 mainly for the fact of I know Gal is probably an iPhone user based off of the way that he talks, but also I know that he's not the. But I know that he's also not the
Soul
type to
read,
spend
bro.
money on the latest one. But I also know that he's not the type to spend that much money on like the later version. So I'm like, the latest that he's gonna choose is an iPhone 14 or 14 Pro.
Nah, it was just
So
funny
I was like,
because
probably a 14 just because
I got
know
an
that he-
email that said an iPhone 14 tried to log into to the account for the stream, and I just went the same day went, Galaxy, why do you have an iPhone 14? What are you, a peasant? And he goes, how do you know this? And I'm like, 'cause I got the email.
Well, to be fair, I had a similar thought process, but not in that way. I was like, knowing Gal's salary, he did not get a 14 Pro Max or whatever.
No, well, okay. So literally, it was on because this is when like the 15 was going on, right? And my phone SIM card connection was literally making it so like I couldn't do calls or anything because the SIM card kept getting like ruined, right? They literally said, "Hey, for like $200, right? That you can do with the payment plan, we can get you the 14. You go trade in your phone, and we can get you this new one." I was like, "Okay, you know what? Sure."
So what I'm hearing is, bro got that shit off of food stamps.
Bro got that
You
off
a
of
brother
Timu.
for real.
He got it off
You
of
a-
Timu.
You a brother for real.
Timu. I'm not that broke.
Nah. He got that shit off of food stamps. He a brother for real. Honestly, I should pass
Oh.
you this basket.
Okay, to be clear for the audience,
He's broke.
I am a white guy.
He's
so
poor.
He
ain't got no
I
street
don't
cred.
have that privilege.
No street cred.
I got no.
I'm
street
also
cred.
white. As
Well,
heck.
in order to have street cred, I need to be part of the street. Dude, I'm in my room. I'm either in my room or at home at work, man. I don't got time for a street.
Bro is not a part of the streets because he's a Texan Christian boy. Let me just put it right out there.
Failure.
I mean, so am I, but what about
You're
it?
not Christian.
He
You're
ain't a part
Amish.
of no street.
I'm not Amish.
You're Amish.
He ain't a part of no streets. I'm going to say this
This is
now.
blasphemy.
No. Bro, he ain't a part of no streets. His next born is about to be called Bartholomew. Okay.
No, okay, no, I've already told you what I want to name my first one. I name my first son.
Steve
I already
Rogers.
told you, man.
Bartholomew.
No,
Bartholomew.
no. Why would I
Bartholomew
name
J.
my kid
Simpson.
Bartholomew? That's cruel
Also-
and unusual punishment.
Gal,
Because
the
it's
joke-
you.
Hold on, Gal. The joke ain't finished. The reason why he about to call it Bartholomew is that he's about to change his last name to Allen.
No. Oh, screw you, man.
No, he's gonna name his son Steve Anita. Stephen Anita.
Anita.
Neither are
Stephen
right.
Anita. I love me some American
Perfect.
Dad, baby. No, so we got a full in-depth for Outer Worlds 2. I'm enjoying it. I might
I stopped
play
paying
it.
attention to that part.
We got no new news on the Gears of War E-Day game, which I was really disappointed by because I was hoping we would get that. That's a game that was supposed to come out. I think it's supposed to come out in 2026. We've heard nothing about it, so I'm a little disappointed. Most of the games that were mentioned are going to be day one exclusive, or day one Game Pass games. So there's that. Others are going to be play anywhere via the cloud. So there's that. One quick shout out thing I want to say is tonight is game 2 of the NBA Finals. Let's go, my boy Tyrese Halliburton. He is not hitting another shot like he did Thursday. That was not gonna happen. And when he misses, they're gonna call it a fluke. I already know that's what they're gonna say.
Yeah.
And tomorrow is game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals.
Tyrese Halliburton hit a floating 3 with 3/10 of a second left on the clock to win the game. It's never gonna happen again.
Yeah, he told me that like a few days ago. I'm like, what?
I'm going
That's crazy.
now. I may be black, but I don't keep up with the NBA like that. But you know it's bad when the Knicks are losing so badly that it became a meme. It became a meme.
Bro, shame on the Knicks for firing Tom Thibodeau. Shame on them.
Speaking of NBA, can I just like talk?
No.
No. This will probably get like a lot of people mad.
It won't. Nobody's watching anyways.
He's
Okay,
about
fair.
to come say some shit
It's
about
not just me
LeBron.
watching.
No,
This man about-
no. Worse. First off, right? Can Angel Reese shut up?
Bro, yes. Bro, she needs to
Why?
shut up.
She's not good.
Angel
She's
Reese-
acting like she's a fake. The
Angel
only
Reese
reason-
acts
the
like
only
she is
reason
the
Angel
female
Reese-
LeBron, and she is god awful terrible. She needs to shut up.
The
What?
only reason.
Hold on. Female LeBron. I don't remember her becoming Caitlin Clark. The fuck?
No, Angela Reese is sitting there saying that the reason why the WNBA is popping off is her. One guy read off the stats of their seedings, which was 6,000, 8,000, 8,000, 10,000, and 17,000. That 17,000
And the
crowd
the
was when
only
she played
thing-
against Caitlyn.
The only thing that Reese is leading in is rebounds, and that is because of all the me-bounds she gets.
Bro, there is a
Um,
literal bet that Angela
Hold on,
Reese will
rebounds?
miss
What does
her.
that mean?
Bro, there is a literal bet that Angela Reese will miss her first shot, and some guy made $3,500 off that bet. She is terrible.
Easy at 3,500.
Easy
It's
3,500 on that
crazy.
bet.
Seriously, the only reason she is even known is because of whatever beef she has with Caitlin Clark, and because she's so bad. That is the only reason people know her.
I watch for
Also,
Caitlyn, bro.
Soccer. Also, soccer. Rebounds are essentially you miss a shot and you get your own rebound.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's what I kind
me-bound.
of figured, but I wasn't 100%.
Angel Reese literally compared herself to being the next LeBron of the WNBA. I'm sorry, but the
No
shots
way.
you're making and the
Again,
layups you're missing,
name ain't Caitlin
LeBron
Clark.
would have made with his
She
eyes
can't
closed.
lay up.
She cannot
That
lay
is
up.
probably one of the most simplest thing in basketball. Granted, I don't play basketball,
Bro,
right?
she whiffs
I'm a white guy.
threes.
I can't do basketball.
Bro, how do you whiff a
She can't
three-pointer
make
with
a
no one
shot.
guarding you? How do you whiff that?
She can't make it to a 3-point with no one guarding her. Which again, I think in WNBA isn't the 3-point line closer
It's a little closer.
than the
It's
NBA?
closer than the WNBA. It's closer than the NBA's.
Yeah. So you can't because I assume that because I know softball it's the pitch is closer to the
Bro,
thing,
she
and I don't know,
airballed a
it's a
3
thing.
and there was no one there. She asked for the ball and got it when her teammate could have made an easy 2. She threw it to Angel and Angel whiffed the not even like, oh, the ball was semi near the goal and she missed or it bounced off the rim. No, she shot the ball and it went so far right that it was nowhere in the same time zone as that goal. She is terrible. The
Dude,
only reason why I watch is for Caitlyn
dude,
because
she has
she's
been-
got talent.
Dude, what's crazy?
I don't
What's
watch it
crazy,
all.
right? Caitlin Clark is honestly a great human being because with the amount of shit she goes through, like I would have started throwing punches.
You want
Good
to
on
know?
her for not.
You want to know how good
But
Caitlyn
even
Clark
the
is?
WNBA itself treats her like trash.
You want to know how good Caitlyn Clark is? Caitlyn Clark can hit literal NBA threes with ease to the point that when she was doing her like practice thing where she was just showing off what she can do on the Indiana Pacers court with Tyrese Halliburton and some other big names, some people were literally saying that she deserves to be out of the WNBA and play in the NBA because she is a rising talent that does not belong there because people are saying it is a disgrace.
Hey, the WNBA doesn't appreciate her. Let the NBA take her then.
Bro,
You're all
I'm-
about
I'm-
women.
The NBA will gladly
right?
take her.
Bro, I'm telling you, you put Caitlyn Clark in the NBA. Granted, you let her know that she's going to be treated the same way the men are. There are no special cases. That it's going to be, the rules are going to be different than it is in the WNBA, and if she's okay with that, if she starts dunking on LeBron, it's game over.
Yeah, at that
I'd
point,
laugh
she's the
my
If
best.
ass
she
off.
dunks on, bro, if she
Hey, listen.
like,
Caitlyn is the only one who I will actually say, hey, if you put her in the NBA, she could actually hang. She could hang
Dude,
for
what's
you.
crazy? She's pretty
she can
young
handle it.
too. She's
Bro,
I mean, how old is she? Like,
hold on. I just remembered there was a photo shoot they were doing with the WNBA, and they were using the NBA style balls, and some of their hands were small, so they swapped to the WNBA ball. That Angel Reese's hand is so small she cannot grip a WNBA ball with one hand. They had to put tape on it. Meanwhile, Caitlyn Clark can just palm that thing.
dude, it's again.
Caitlyn is a freak of
what's
nature
crazy,
right
right?
now,
I-
bro.
Out of curiosity, right? Because again, the whole WNBA needs to be paid more. Players need to be play as much as NBA players. I genuinely looked at. I started watching a couple of WNBA games because, like, I've seen the
You saw how
arguments that,
empty
like,
those stands were, didn't you?
not even just empty those stands were. I've always because my dad, right? My dad is and he did a lot in college. He was a male volleyball player. Almost made the the Olympian team for way back when, but my mom got pregnant with me, so
So you ruined
he
their
and her had to.
careers. Typical.
Yep. But either way, either way, right?
Classical,
So
classic Galaxy.
I am very familiar about the difference of a male version of a sport and a female version of a sport can be. Right? My parents for several years have coached both has coached girls volleyball. My dad even started up a team in my city for a club team for ours, and we got to compete and stuff. So I've seen the difference. There is the best way I can describe it is that the men's version of sports, a lot of it is about like, especially like volleyball, and I'm like pretty much with like basketball. It's all about like power is a main focus of it, right?
Absolutely.
And it's very much like who's the more ferocious. Now, not to say that female sports can't be ferocious, but again, it's like if you've ever seen like men's like volleyball is a perfect example of this, right? Men's volleyball, you will see guys try to like it's almost like a who can spike it the harder contest is what it boils down to, right? With women's volleyball, it's so much more about like technique and like it's almost more of like a dance or like there's so much like a rhythm and flow to it where it's men's it's like okay I'm gonna try to like I want to break your bones with this spike. That's what it boils down to. And dude, the women's volleyball is, or not volleyball, women's basketball is so much slower.
Absolutely.
It is,
Oh,
by God, so much slower than the NBA.
all right. Give me a
And
sec.
it's
Oh God, Angel Reese went to my state's college. I'm ashamed.
sucker.
I'm ashamed.
Um,
Where's
but
Caitlin?
no, it's
Where's their stats? I pulled up their stats right now, and this is for their. And
dude,
this is for
it's
their
crazy.
the last
And what's
games they
crazy
played.
is that apparently someone else from that same college recently joined the team, right? Angel Reese's team. I guess they were teammates, right?
Yeah.
People, even everyone on like, hey, maybe now, like, Angel Reese will be able to give Caitlin Clark a challenge because she has like a very good friend of hers. Dude, they still lost like 30 points by
All right.
30 points
So
several times. It's
all right. So this is what this is what's predicted. I think next game or no. Hold on. Where's her stats for her last game? Okay. The last game they played was against each other. Caitlyn versus Angel Reese. All right.
mm-hmm.
Caitlyn's stats in that game, she played for 38 minutes. She had 18 points, 5 rebounds, 10 assists, with a 33.3% field goal percentage, a
Wait, no.
18.2% 3-point percentage, and an 80% free throw percentage. And I think penalty fouls or PS are penalties. All right. Angel.
Did you say that was Angel Reese?
No, this is Caitlyn. This is Caitlyn Clark stats.
I was about to say Angel Reese can't make a free throw.
Angel Reese played 27 minutes. She scored 4 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists. She had 3 I don't know what TO is. Her field goal percentage was 28.6. She had 0 3-point percentage. She hit 0 threes. Caitlyn's
Oh my
points-
lord.
Caitlyn's points per game is 19, with her average point per game is 9.3. Her average 3-point percentage is 31.4, and her field goal percentage is 40.3. Angel Reese's stats: 9.1 points a game, 2.6 average points per game, 33.3% 3-point percentage with a 30% rebound field goal shots, meaning she's making like twos.
Again, the only reason she has that many rebounds is because she's rebounding herself. She is the equivalent of like stat farmers in like Marvel Rivals or
she's a
Overwatch.
scoreboard merchant. Here's for the 2025 regular season.
Except she can't even get scores.
Here's for the
She can't be a scoreboard merchant. She can't even get scores.
So unfortunately, Caitlyn Clark is out. I do accept
because the WNBA, she keeps getting fouled and the refs aren't even calling it.
All right. So for Caitlyn Clark,
she keeps getting thrown around.
Bro,
by the league.
absolutely. But Caitlyn Clark's regular season stats for 2025 is 19 points per game, 19 points, 6.0 on rebounds, 9.3 on assists, and she's 1.3 for steals. Angel Reese is 9.1, 12.3 on rebounds, 2.6 on assists, and 1.6 in steals. So she has a slightly higher advantage to steal a ball than she is to make a goal. And that's her 2025 stats.
I almost,
And
you know what
Angel
I want
Reese
to do?
played
I wish
less than
they did.
Caitlyn in the
So
last couple of games.
Baseball, in baseball, right? They have like when you're doing points and stuff. They have the runs that they have. They have the hits. So essentially, how many times they've gotten on, like a team has gotten on base, right? And then they have an error counter, right?
Yeah.
I almost want them to introduce that purely to see and because I'm telling you, I've seen a couple games, right? The amount of times where Angel Reese has done something that I would consider error worthy is insane. Like, and again, it's the fact that like she talks so much shit. It's not that like she is what puts. If we're really being honest, she puts a bad name to the WNBA.
She absolutely does, because she's sitting there crying about money, but lady, you're not putting butts in the seats. You don't deserve. You call
It's
the
not even that you're putting,
WNBA
like you're
costs the
not a
NBA
good
more money.
player. It'd be different if she's like, again, if she could talk the talk and walk the walk,
But she can't.
right? That's different. She can't. All she does is move her mouth.
Literally,
it's-
the team that
Again,
if
when you're
hold
going
on,
to a sporting event,
if Angel Reese is as so good as she says she is, why is her team, the Chicago Sky, 2-5? Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever are 4-4. Caitlin Clark consistently plays longer times than Angel. And the last 4 games, Caitlin has played 38, 32, 38, 32. Angel Reese in the last 5 games has played 27, 32, 25, 34, 32. She's not even playing almost a full game. And granted, I know how it works. You want to keep rotating everybody out, but she's playing less times than Caitlin is. Angel,
it's not.
I don't know
and
who
again,
you're fooling,
again,
but
Caitlyn
you're terrible.
is pulling. Again, it's the fact that like there are basic. Now, granted, I'm not exactly expecting everyone to be able to like bank every three pointer Curry, or like being able to like dominate like the court like LeBron or MJ, right? I'm not expecting every player to be like that, right? But there are fundamentals, there are basics that like you gotta be able to do that Angel Reese just can't.
She cannot do them.
And again, it's the and it's and again, it's like it's no like redeeming thing, because again, she has a haughty attitude, right? Which again is kind of like that already puts them in the negative thing. But a lot of times, and media has proven this, a haughty attitude, as long as it's able to be backed up, can come off as like cool, or like it can come off as like the as long as your skill
It's snotty
backs
and
up
bratty.
your attitude, like this haughty persona you have, right? That kind of offsets it. And
Yeah.
in fact can also win you points in public perception, right? She comes across like a toddler because all she does is talk with nothing backing it up.
Yeah, she's got nothing to back up everything she talks about. She's not one of the best players out there. Nobody's really going to watch to see her play. More people are rather watch Caitlin Clark because she's actually talent that is worth watching. Angel is not. Caitlin will always consistently either make her points or do really well to assist a teammate in making them. She is not a showboater. She is not a glory hog. She sits there and goes, "We did this." And if there's a mistake, she genuinely takes accountability for her actions. I'm not saying Angel Reese doesn't, but Angel Reese will sit there and take accountability and then turn around and start trashing somebody. That is not a player mentality. And that is not the way you want people to see you. And you keep going, y'all need to quit talking about Caitlin like she's the only one that's bringing people to the game. I'm sorry, but when Caitlin Clark got drafted out of college, she was the reason why more people watched the women's college games than ever before, because she was literal generational talent that you rarely ever see. And then when she finally made it, she was the number 1 most watched for the draft, and wondering where she would go. She gets drafted, and in her first game, they sell more tickets than they normally would. More people watched her first game than any other WNBA game. Caitlin Clark is talent. She is worse terrible.
Dude, the numbers and the stats. This is what people have to realize: is that people can say a lot, but stats and like action that follows, like legitimate stats, like, dude, come back to reality. Like, I'm gonna pull an Eisen or not
snap
Eisen,
back to reality. Oh, there goes your gravity.
Modern.
Wake up to reality.
Yeah, like, dude, wake up to reality. Like, you're saying one thing, but these numbers are saying something else.
I'm like, yeah, she's not thinking reality. She's doing something else.
She's living in her own delusional world, and she is costing her team dearly because of it.
Not even just her team. She's costing the WNBA. Like
The WNBA was
it's not
already on
just her
fire.
team. This haughty attitude is doing more harm to the WNBA than like it's again. She is, whether we like it or not, she is becoming a public face, but
But
she's
not for the
becoming
right
a public
reasons.
face for the wrong reasons. Like she's becoming a public face due to infamy, not because she isn't really famous. She's infamous.
Yeah, she's not getting what she wants, so she's throwing an on-screen temper tantrum, and it just looks bad.
Yeah. So, trying to think. So, I feel like we need to talk about this. Let's go. Since we talked about games, we talked about sports. Unless y'all got something else.
I mean, if I start
I'll
talking,
do it,
if
y'all.
I start talking about like the Stanley Cup Finals, like then you're just gonna like ignore that because nobody here really likes it. So,
Well, I don't even know who's in the Cup Finals.
it is Edmonton Oilers and the Florida Panthers.
And we're gonna
again.
end the session.
Called
with-
it.
Let's go
I'm kidding.
Florida! Let's go Florida! Florida
kidding.
man, get on the
Dude,
ice,
it's
beat the
crazy.
Canadians.
It is genuinely crazy to me that Florida dominates hockey the way it does.
I know. Plus, like this is a
Dude.
rematch of last season.
It is probably the second most southern state, with Texas being the most southern, only because it's so big. But it is probably one of the hottest, like again, probably top 5 like hottest or like.
No,
And the fact that their hockey team, which is a ice-based sport, dominates for years
no,
is
you're
bad. Like,
missing
they've won the last 2 cups.
Galaxy. You're
Make
missing
it make sense.
Galaxy. You're missing the most important thing. Canada loves to brag about how they're the ones that invented hockey and soccer. How long has it been since they won a cup? 21 years?
No, 32.
32
Dude,
years.
it's insane. It's
Since 1993 was the last time any Canadian team, which is Montreal Canadiens, has won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe if they become the 51st state. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. The fact
Nah.
that that's even a thing.
Me and soccer can
The
sit
fact that
here and
that's
say
even a
this.
thing is insane to me.
Me and soccer can sit here and say this. Soccer got me to watch soccer. What was it called? The Four Nations face
Yeah, the
off?
Four Nations face-off. Yeah.
Soccer got me to watch it, and the very first game I watched was the 3 fights in 9 seconds.
Oh, Canada versus USA game 1. Oh,
And
that made me fire.
that made me go, brother. And then the US made it to the finals against Canada. Unfortunately, Canada won, but it was such a
Because of
good game I
McDavid.
didn't even care.
Yeah.
They booed
That's how fire hockey is.
soccer, wasn't it
No,
during the national anthems for the first game they played? Canada booed it, and then we went started 3 fights and then won the game 2-0.
Yeah, I'm like,
I remember-
they were booing our national
Yeah.
anthem because it's like during like when Trump was doing all this crap. And then right off the bat, 3 seconds in, drop the gloves. 1 second later, drop the gloves, and like a few seconds later after that, drop the gloves again.
Two brothers,
Dude, it's
two brothers and a friend, bro. The Kachuk brothers and I don't
Yeah,
know the other
JT
guys.
Miller
J-
and the Kachuk brothers.
JT
It was
Miller,
JT
and,
Miller.
and the Kachuk brothers. No. Oh, I've got to say this before somebody gets mad at me for not mentioning it. Tyrese Halliburton set a record that has never been set in the NBA since its founding. Normally, if a team has the lead all the way through, they're usually the ones that win the game. If the lead never shifts, never goes back and forth, the team that is the dominant that held the lead normally would win the game, especially with the final 4 minutes. It's usually almost hard to catch up at that point. The score for that was 0 and 182. No team has ever come back from being down by 15 to 20 points and come back to win the game like this. Tyrese Halliburton hit a 0.3 of a second floating three and went from 109 to 111 or 108 to 111 with 0.3 of a second, bringing an unprecedented comeback, winning the game, being the first guy to set a 1 in 182 for a record. He is also the only.
loud.
He's also the only NBA player that is at 100% for final clutching, tie all or win all shots. He has done this 7 times now with clutch threes or twos to win the game and proceed them past the point. He is the only player to do this. And if he misses tonight, if he makes the mistake, he doesn't hit that shot, they're going to sit there and call it a fluke that he did it in the first game, which is not fair because when Tyrese gets serious, he is a legitimate threat on that court. I love Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Brother, your name is too long. SGA is what everyone calls you. You are a phenomenal player, and I think you won an MVP. But Tyrese is the comeback player of the year and is an MVP finalist for like for the finals. That man, if they win, which I don't see how you can recover emotionally from that loss of literally you essentially had the game in the bag. SGA misses a 3 and it fell apart so fast. That is an emotional and mental break right there. I would love to see a good game tonight. I will be watching it. Let's go Pacers.
So, in MLB terms, because I know I'm the only one that really cares about that, but I just want to point out, Dodgers are currently leading the National League West, 38 to 27.
I watch some baseball. I just don't know what's going on, but I watch some baseball.
Yeah, I watched the
38
baseball too. 'Cause my
27.
girlfriend likes
Dodgers,
it.
let's go Dodgers. Dodgers are leading 38 to 27
Let's go
and are
Shohei.
currently the number 1 in National League West.
Let's go Shohei Ohtani,
Shohei.
the
Dude,
Fortnite guy.
I still think it's crazy. Shohei got a Fortnite skin, or he got 2 actually.
You got 2.
I mean, good for him, right? Dude is crazy. Love
Bro
the guy.
signs the highest
dude's a machine.
contract ever in MLB. Gets a Fortnite skin.
Exactly.
Thing to me, right, is he came to the Dodgers as a pitcher, right? Which the kind of the joke about pitchers is that they don't hit well. Like they're not usually good hitters.
Oh,
Because-
and Shohei said, "Man, y'all shut up and sit down. Watch this Asian boy go for that swing."
Not only is he one of the best hitters that like when he was like injured, quote unquote, and couldn't pitch, they made him a DL or a DH.
Designated
like-
hitter
So a designated hitter, yeah.
Yeah,
that hits
and
40
they had
pitchers or something. Or
bro. You know
I
what's
can't
crazy?
think what it's for.
But DH is essentially someone who like, okay, you need someone to kind of like back, like you need a replacement hitter, right? You bring in this guy. So it's usually someone that like isn't necessarily good at fielding or something, but like the dude has like a cannon for a swing, right?
Bro, go look at him.
Shohei.
Go look at him when he played in Asia in baseball. The homie was a superstar then. He is not like he is. This is
Yeah.
not like him just becoming one. Homie never stopped. He kept shining like a star.
He never stopped. He was
never
great.
stopped.
He's been killing it. I hope he has a good. Again, I'm happy he's a Dodger because if he's not, I'm gonna be honest.
Dude's
I
gonna
would've-
have the best
If the
retirement.
Dodgers ever trade him, I'm gonna be upset.
Bro, if the Dodgers ever trade him, it's gonna be like the Dallas Mavs with the Luka trade, bro. They're gonna
Don't even
want
get-
someone
I
to be
still hate
hung.
that. I still hate that.
No, you know what I hate? Everyone can get mad at the guy who the owner for getting rid of him. I hate Luka. That man lost weight and did everything he did when he went to the Lakers. They said he would not work out. He would not adhere to a diet regimen because he was getting overweight. He would not do anything to help his case there in Dallas. But he would always go, "Oh, I love Dallas. You're my people, blah, blah, blah." But he did nothing to want to stay. That man actively did everything to self-sabotage to get a trade. That is the only thing that he did, and I hate him for that. I feel bad for Maverick fans because you got Mr. 3 games in a row, a groin injury boy. And it's like, come on. But like, Luka did not want to be in the Dallas anymore. He did not care. He did everything. He self-sabotaged the entire way through, and people could get mad at the owner for getting rid of him, but Luka was not going to change. He actively got fatter as I watched him throughout the NBA, and then he goes to the Lakers and he drops all the weight. He adheres to a diet regimen and everything like that, and he starts going to practice again. That is not the owner's fault. That is a Luka, and that is Luka being childish.
Yeah, that's just him like trying to find a way to get out of a place where he got bored or something.
Like, that's
okay. So
shame
now
on
I
Luka
feel like
for that.
I feel like we need to touch up on this because again, it's been out for probably like 2 weeks now, right? But Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, I love that movie. It was so
All right.
cute.
I watched it again. I have some problems with it.
Yeah, I'm not. Look, I want to adhere to this, right? It is not a It's not like I still say the original is better, right? But I am tired of people flaming it online. First off,
I'm tired of the
what
Nani hate.
The big complaint was the ending, right? It's been out for 2 weeks, so we're not going to have a spoiler warning. Like, okay, if you still haven't seen it, right? Spoiler warning. Stop. Go watch it or whatever. Dude, again,
Then
it's
come
been out
back.
2 weeks. If you haven't seen it right now,
Bro,
what's your deal?
I want to say this. The Nani hate is not like, what is wrong with you people? They're literally mad that Nani went to college. Even though Lilo herself kept saying, I want you to go to college. I want you to become a Marine.
Not only that, though. Lilo guilt
tripped her the entire time.
With the this is what mom and dad wanted. They told me. Like, okay, first off, right? For people who, as y'all know, their parents dead. Like, Nani essentially
they dead.
Nani essentially goes to college, and I guess the college is in California, right? Which people are brought up that like marine biology is great in Hawaii, and they get it for free. Like, look, okay, so what? College? Maybe she wanted to go to college in California. I mean, they did make it a point to say she was already in college, and then her parents died, so she had to come back. So maybe she just kind of like wanted to finish what she started, right?
Well, no, because it stated that she got the acceptance letter because it kept getting thrown in the trash, and the neighbor lady kept putting it back in their house or giving it back to Lilo. She never started. She was going to. Then their parents tragically passed away, and she said, I need to stay for Lilo because she has no body. So she stayed. She tried doing everything she can to support her. Lilo kept wanting her to go, which my thought process was.
And here's the thing, right? Again,
my thing was, you go. Like, if Lilo's saying, go, I want you to go. I want you to do this. Mom and dad wanted this. My thing would be, go talk to the neighbor lady. She's so sweet. She does everything she can to look out for Lilo as well.
People need to understand is that unlike the original Lilo and Stitch, right, which came out early 2000s, literally came out 2001, and it came out what's crazy about this is, fun fact, originally that spaceship scene was them, instead of flying through mountains, they were flying through a city, and they hijacked an airplane to chase after Gantu in his spaceship.
Actually, the original came out in 2002 because they had to push it back because of that. They had to change the scenes.
I think they literally had to push it back because of that.
They had to literally push it back because of 9/11.
I think it even came out. I think what's crazy is that some theaters had the original showing, and then they literally took it out, reanimated it, and then put it back in theaters.
They also changed the animation from the original on Disney Plus. Lilo no longer hides in a washing machine. She hides in I don't understand how this works, but she hides in a pizza box under a nightstand. Don't know how that works.
Yeah, I never understood that either.
Okay,
but
we're not going to touch on that.
They changed it from that because kids were getting in there. But the Nani hate is stupid.
They're getting stuck.
The fact that Gantu wasn't in there is fine. I don't really think he would have done that well.
I don't like that they didn't. I like Jumba, but here's the thing, right? Unlike in the early 2000s, right, where, let's be honest, landlines were still a thing. I mean, we even saw that in the movie, like Nani straight up calling from a landline and stuff, right?
Yeah.
It is now so painfully easy
to get a hold of people. We have phone like it's not even that far fetched. I mean, I guess it is because let's be honest, Nani and them were poor, but um, like there's FaceTime, there is like handheld phones, like
They
mobile
literally
phones
do
that,
FaceTime
like,
at the very end of the movie.
and not only that though, but they literally end the movie with Nani using the portal gun, which I'm gonna be honest, I know the portal gun wasn't a part of the OG. I like that. The shenanigans that the portal gun brought were dope, and I loved it.
It was funny the
The
entire
portal-
way. People hating on
Exactly.
Stitch's voice. Do you not know
Well,
that
that was
that's
the original voice.
that was the
That's
original
stupid.
voice
Don't-
actor?
that's
The
true.
only difference is
That is,
age.
don't tell me that's true. That's literally the original voice actor.
No, people were genuinely
that-
hating on the fact that they said Stitch does not sound like he did in the cartoon when it's the literal same voice actor, but he's just gotten older because of time.
Older idiot. It's again the only like there were two parts that I two main complaints I have. One, they took out that Elvis scene with him on where
That was at
he
the
ended up
very end of the
getting
movie.
replaced-
Shut up.
Well,
It was
no,
at the very end.
Time out. Again, was the Elvis scene on the beach where he gets swarmed by people, but then they end up overwhelming him, causing him to lash out. And it was literally the scene right before the it was literally the scene right before like he goes and surfs. Like
Yeah.
him, Nani, and Lilo goes to surf. I liked him playing the guitar. I liked him like again because it showed like the whole overwhelming feeling of like he's kind of like he's not used to all this, and the overwhelming feeling where he lashes out. Again, I like that. So again, I like that they did that like the end and they didn't like completely exclude it. But I wish they had made it they made it bigger. Right? And again, the other problem I have, I don't like that they chose Jumba to be the bad guy, but I wasn't enough to ruin the movie for me. I feel like the movie again, I think the point of a live action remake this late, right? Because again, you have to think, people who watch the original, they're adults now. Like it was over
Or dead.
20 years ago. Or dead, right?
Or adults are
Like,
dead.
It was over 20 years ago. The purpose of this is to introduce a younger audience and
Lilo and
try to
Stitch.
get them to want to watch the original stuff. Try to get them to want to watch the OG Lilo and Stitch, to watch the Lilo and Stitch the series, to watch Lilo and Stitch the movie, right? Like with Sparky, right?
Yeah.
To completely ignore Stitch has the glitch because that one was terrible. No, I'm kidding. But you want to try to, and I think this was an amazing way to introduce a new generation to a franchise that, let's be honest here, has gotten nothing for years. It was amazing, and I feel like this. I think the reason why so many people vocally hate it is because it's a lot easier to farm views over hate than it is to say that like this movie was good.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they need to. It's dude. It was a good movie. It was a good starting point, and I'm gonna be honest. I think this is probably one of their best live action remakes. It's definitely one of the best over. Again, the OG is still better, but again, that's the OG. It's to be honest, I think the OG should be better.
Yeah, this one was actually a little bit better than OG. I got some complaints like the captain not being there, but other than that, it was really cute.
The problem is that I feel like a lot of people are butthurt because it's not a 1-to-1 recreation.
Yeah.
And I'm of the belief that like again, if you're wanting a 1-to-1 recreation, watch the OG. Like I
know
guess
people don't do that.
We'll see because apparently How to Train Your Dragons, right? The live action one's coming out soon, and that's supposed to be a 1-to-1 or a pretty close to 1-to-1.
Yeah, it looks 1-to-1.
It looks very much 1-to-1. So we'll see how people respond to it. But knowing the world we're in, man, I'm gonna be honest. I think people are gonna find a reason to hate it. I think a lot of people are gonna double down because of the Astrid thing,
Yeah.
which I still think is stupid. First off, it's look, I agree. Race swapping in general is something I'm tired about because logically, it why not just create a new character or create a new thing? But like I'm willing to overlook it. Like I'm willing to overlook it if the actress does a good job and the story is still like intact.
And the way it looks,
And as long as
she's doing a phenomenal job. She has sold me on the character.
she I've rewatched the trailer several times and like she even I'm gonna be honest, she even kind of sounds like Astrid. Is
Bro,
that just me?
Bro, I would laugh if it was like, oh yeah, this is her actual voice actor, and everyone's just hating on it, and I'd be like, oh my god, y'all are stupid.
No, it's
I know
well,
it's not, but it'd be funny if it was.
but she sounds a lot like her.
Bro, she sold the character. That's the one thing that I love about her acting than any other actress the actor that plays a white character, they race swap them. She sells the character so well. Like the one, like for the Little Mermaid, I
that's
didn't
all I
like
asked
her
for.
because she didn't sell it. Yeah, she can sing, but that's not
No,
all what
I'll be
Ariel
honest.
is. She didn't sell it.
Haley Berry was probably the best part about that movie, or Haley Bailey,
Halle
no.
Berry.
Halle Berry. No, Halle Berry is Storm. It's Halle Berry is the actress who played Storm. Is it Halle Bailey?
I don't know. Something Haley. Haley.
I remember because I kept saying Halle Berry, and then my mom was like, "No, that's the person who played Storm."
No, but I'm
Uh,
excited for it. I can't wait for
she
it.
was probably the best part about that movie.
Her singing is fine, but again, she didn't sell the character for Ariel very well. Just-
Okay, so it is Halle Bailey.
Yeah, she
here's-
didn't
again, here's
sell
the
it very
problem.
well. The same thing with Rachel Ziegler did not sell Snow White well at all. Just nothing about it
Well,
really
the
said
problem
this
with
is Snow
them, I
White.
feel like, okay, excluding Rachel Ziegler because there, she was the
worst
main
person
problem.
to
I
ever
feel
be
like with
picked.
this, I feel like the main problem with these remakes, right? Which again is they take out things that were extremely central to the story. For example, right, the live action Little Mermaid. Eric going and using a ship to stab Ursula in the stomach, right? That was their
A ship?
Yeah, that's how they killed her.
yeah.
They
Like,
stabbed
so
her with
in
a
the
boat.
original animated, Eric literally like steals a ship, goes through a storm, and stabs her with the front part of the ship.
So the bow of the ship, he just
Yeah.
goes bump.
He pierces her
Yeah,
and he kills
like
her.
straight up. And
Bruh.
that shows that visual thing shows to Triton that not all humans are bad.
And it shows how much he really
And
loves
that's what-
Ariel.
Yeah, that's what gets him to change his mind, to give Ariel legs, to allow this union. That didn't happen
Yeah.
in the live
Yeah,
action.
I completely got distracted.
So, and I don't remember them really giving Triton a reason to be like, or something to show that like, oh wait, no, humans aren't bad. They did in the live action Lilo and Stitch. They didn't really take anything out. I mean, I here's another thing I didn't necessarily like is they took out the ugly duckling part.
Upon rewatching the original Lilo and Stitch, it's a scene that I literally, even though I watched it, I missed it completely. It's just so quick. It really didn't serve any purpose besides in the animated series to show that Stitch is different. That's it. But again, it's something that just you can tell the story without having it, and you still get the message across. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's not
Yeah,
it's not
exact-
a
exactly. I
necessary
mean, I
scene like
enjoyed-
everyone says it is. It's not necessary
not.
for the story.
No, it's not necessary, but it was one of those scenes that like people enjoyed seeing.
I
So
don't understand how
again,
people can
taking
enjoy
it out,
seeing it. It's so
kinda
quick of a
sucks.
scene. So
Yeah.
It was still a very good. It was a very like I said, I still stand by. That's probably one of the best live action remakes we've gotten. We'll see if that holds up. But again, the hate feels so forced.
it is.
People have to hate, so they go after it.
I guess.
All right, I'm ready to call it.
And one thing, real quick, I want to preface this. It's one thing to like have this not like kind of like not be your favorite of the Lilo and Stitch stuff, right? But like there is a difference between saying that like yeah, I didn't really like it to being like no, this is a terrible movie. Like for example, right? I don't really like seafood. I don't. I don't really find it enjoyable.
Hear
Do
that,
I
chat?
think
He's a
seafood
racist.
is a bad type of food?
Yep, he is.
Don't even. Do I think seafood is a bad type of food? No.
Yes.
It is beloved by many, and I think people like again, people can enjoy it, right? But just cause I don't like it doesn't make it bad, and people
Yes.
need to stop. Like the world does not revolve around you to a point where like you're saying that like oh I don't think it's good, therefore it's a bad movie.
Yeah. The hate's unwarranted. People just need to learn that you can't get most live actions can't give you exactly what you want because again depending on the budget. And there's a reason why we really didn't get much of the aliens in their CGI form because you
Yeah.
already would have Leela, you already have Stitch and Gantu mainly towards the end kind of being all on the screen, so it's too much and it's too much to render. That's a lot to render constantly like
Yeah.
that as well.
Honestly, again, I didn't mind, and I felt like again they showed off. Like first off, the person who played Pleakley, right, killed it. I think. I think a lot of people. Pleakley was always kind of that like comic relief, if we're really being honest. Why
Why are you changing tick rate?
Because I'm trying to get something to grow faster.
His naivety was kind of like a big point of him, right? So him changing clothes every time we see him like just kind of enjoying being human was very in character for him. And while we didn't get the alien Pleakley in drag, I mean we got like again he wore like a fishnet top.
Yeah, we got it at
So,
first, but
It's still
They didn't use it as much.
no. They did a good job with what we got, and I think they did good. It was a really good one. Personally, I'd rate it a 7 out of 10, maybe 6.5.
I brought my cousin to it. We were laughing the most of the time. 7.5.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It's a good adaptation, and it's a good way to introduce kids to Lilo and Stitch. First off, again, shout out to I don't know if I said this already, but shout out to the actress who played Lilo.
Absolutely.
To the kid.
Child actors are very
Hard
hard.
to
'cause
get right.
They're young and they're also kids.
Like
Girl
that's
killed it.
like that's why I like Skeleton Cruise kids
If she
because they
wants
really
to
played it
continue
very well.
acting, if she wants to continue acting, right, have a good career in acting, I hope she does. I hope like she gets some good roles and stuff, and I hope she's treated well. But I mean, what about y'all? Y'all think anything else to talk about, or should we end it here?
Nah, I think we should end it here because
I mean, how long have you guys been going on for?
you
'Cause
said
it's
you
been a
only had
while.
2 hours anyway, and we're already at like 2:15.
I feel like we talked about it.
We covered everything we needed to today.
Yeah, it's
we're-
already been 2 hours.
Yeah,
I
and you've got to go
I gotta
take your
celebrate my
mom
mom's
to
birthday, so
her doctor's office because she's getting old.
that's
Gonna go
Yeah, I
coffin
feel like
shopping.
you might want to call it there so you can do your IRL stuff.
well. This has been, and I seem like the engineer is out. So this has been Galaxy Wolf.
This has been Airsoft Rocket. Come on, Gremlin.
And soccer, that's all I go by.
And Goblin and Mr. Goblin over there.
Soccer,
King
yeah,
Gob-
ding dongs.
King Goblin.
Um,
I'm the king
we're
goblin
signing
in
off,
soccer.
and we will see you next time for another
Later.
episode of the convention.